MASTERSWORD music.
TJ the Gamer. Yeah, this the Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the gamers round, ooh, this the Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the gamers round, ooh, this the Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the gamers round, ooh, this the Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the gamers round, ooh, yeah, this the Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus got one of the best cast that you have ever seen. You really missing out if you haven't heard that this show here to stay. So go pass the word, old school or new school. Check us out on YouTube. It don't matter what you like, we got something for you. Just one more thing to say before I start to close. Shout out to my homies at the Chronoz show. The Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the gamers round, ooh, that's the Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the gamers round, ooh, that's the Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the gamers round, ooh, that's the Chronoz show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the gamers round, ooh.
Thunder, 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 Thundercats! Ho!
What's up?
What's up, man? Actually, I rushed from work so I can come, watch it. And I got wine and master music. And man, what an incredible! I'm impressed. I'm glad I went in there like the way I should have always done it. By the way, we'll get down to it with the Nintendo Direct. This is the Chronoz show featuring the Gamers Run Through. And I want to introduce myself as Chronoz, of course. I got co-host KOTETSU.
What's going on, everyone?
Co-host on Ryan.
Hey, how's it going?
And co-host GEAK.
Yo!
So, guys, go. Just someone start talking. Who's feeling it right now?
I'm really feeling it.
That's like the theme of the game that we were just talking about. No, I mean, I was like that too. I came home. The reason I came home early because I thought someone was gonna use my car, but they ended up not doing it. So I was like, all right, I guess it's convenient that I could watch this. And yeah, it was definitely probably the best way to start the year for Nintendo is just give us a big direct. I thought that they were going to give us like little indie stuff and then talk about Splatoon 3. That's what I thought because I felt like that was going to happen, but it didn't. Like we just got just one thing after another. We started off really cool with Fire Emblem, which was cool. And I don't want to like go down this. I know we're gonna show some stuff, but yeah, I was really excited, really excited about it. Like I always go into these things blind. Like I don't expect anything. And I think I was talking to Cliff yesterday and he was like, yeah, we're going to get this. And I was like, you know what? Let's just be honest. When it comes to Direct, we don't know anything until they start showing stuff. Like we don't. Like some of my favorite titles are games that I had no idea about until the day they first show them. And I'm just like, hey, this is, I think prime example is Astral Chain. Like no one knew that was even coming until they showed it. And it was just like, what the heck is this? And I think it's one of my favorite games on the Switch. So, but yeah, you never know what to expect when it comes to these directs whenever they drop them, unless they tell you.
For me, I did spend. I'm sure some of you guys seen it the last few years or so when I would act like a buffoon and talk a lot of shit like, oh, Nintendo this or whatever, because I was going in there like yeah, I want this, I want that, and then at the end you're just like, I'm pissed off, But the last two directs, I've been happy. I've been okay with it, and this one though blows my mind over all that I've seen in such a long time. Blew my mind away. So either way, you guys didn't have anything to say? Should we start the first clip? Because we're gonna review it, and I guess we'll talk through it. So you guys want to go with the first one, or GEAK or Ryan? KOTETSU, you want to say something before we do it?
Oh, I said what I had to say. I'll leave the floor to GEAK and Ryan if they want to say anything beforehand.
I went in with no expectation, and frankly, I said like, oh, the long shot is the thing that they announced at the end. So like, we'll talk about that. But I'm so happy. I'm so happy with that.
GEAK? Oh, wait, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Ryan. When I had no expectations because Nintendo is Nintendo. I don't know why people think that Nintendo actually talk a lot. Nintendo doesn't say shit. Nintendo doesn't say anything. Like they gag orders because everybody steal their stuff and they don't say nothing. So I just went in like, hey, long as they got a few RPGs, I'm cool. Because every time I have my hopes up, like y'all will see the battle for me trying to get Gino from 2017 until recently. I don't want to go down that trip anymore. So I just accept it. Like, the older we get, the more wiser we get. Okay, I just accept it as it came, and I was excited about these last two. Like Chronoz just said, the last two were really good. The last, I think, the last one might have been my favorite, and then this one was a good one too.
Yeah, it's really easy to get overhyped, but like, so I don't think it's fair for you to say, Chronoz, like that you felt like you were acting like a buffoon. I don't think that's accurate. It's you got excited, you got really into it. And then what it delivered did not meet the expectations.
I actually was. For you. I remember recording myself. I was trying to record it, and I decided, no, I'm not gonna put this on YouTube because I was like, what the fuck this shit. I was like cursing. I was angry. I was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that. And no one ever saw that video because I thought it was foolish for myself to be. And I would say a few things, text a few things that maybe some of you guys saw. That's why I'm like, I think I've been seeing things a little bit better lately. So I think it's a good way the way I'm viewing it now. And either way, let's go to the first video. I hope I put it low enough. I lowered the volume, so feel free to talk through it, talk about it. Maybe I should have muted it, but let's see what we can get here. So I wish there was a way to like play the video and then still be able to, have us view ourselves. But I think, hold on, here we go. We can only mute ourselves if you guys want to.
I'll talk about it after it's done.
It's this one. This video is about. This is the first 7 minutes of the direct.
The cycle of this world. I will not allow it to perish with you.
Is that me?
I seek to destroy the irrational power structure that shackles Satan.
The kingdom is ever to part ways with our bloody past. This is the path we must walk. I have ambitions in regard, real ones.
Hey Justin, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
Will you sit around and wait for a miracle? Or will you help me seize control of my fate?
We shall fight, we shall survive, and we shall win a glorious future for Cleveland. Now that I know, I won't make the same mistake again.
Welcome in, Black Supplementary. Thank you, Benny.
You seek revenge to slake your wounds and heal your wounded heart. I know you are prepared to do whatever that you must.
This game looks pretty good to me.
So, you mind we pause real quick?
Hello, everyone.
I can't pause it.
Oh, we gotta go through. Never mind.
I mean, you can talk to it. I mean, whatever you want to say.
What you just saw.
No, I'll just wait because I don't want to be talking over this.
We hope you look forward to a different story set in the same universe as Fire Emblem Three Houses. Let's see the first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
Black, what's up?
The Orange Star Nation.
Is that the trainer? What?
We've got more
haven't seen
insight
that
on the
dude
Advanced
since
Wars 1.2 reboot campaign.
1997.
In the first campaign, Advanced Wars,
Back
you'll
when Eris
advise
was
a colorful
Eris.
cast of commanding officers who use their abilities in vibrant turn-based battles. Each
Justin
of
Carter
is now voiced, bringing even more charm to these characters.
You're gonna get hurt.
I'm really excited about this game.
Another full campaign
Advanced Wars is one of my
Advanced Wars
favorite
2,
Game Boy.
Black Hole Rising.
Game Boy
More
Advance
commanding
games.
officers and more diverse terrain can be leveraged for additional
That is,
tactical
of course,
opportunities, like blasting through pipelines and
that's what I was
enemy
hoping for.
territory.
I was
In
hoping
both
that
campaigns,
we
you
might
can
see
fast-forward
anything
gameplay
going
and
on.
reset your turns for a smoother tactical experience.
This does
Flex
look
your
pretty good,
strategic
I have to
muscles
say.
outside of both campaigns with additional modes.
Sami
High
looks,
scores in
he
the
looks
war room.
cute on here. They made Andy look like a little kid, and they kind of matured Sami there a little
Locally
bit.
online multiplayer.
But that kind of sounds like anime. That
Advance Wars 1+2 reboot camp marches onto
on
the
the side.
Nintendo Switch system April 8th.
Get to the corner of the screen, guys.
Available now on Nintendo eShop.
Turn your camera.
You gotta like
Explore
Where you going,
the
Ryan?
universe. In No
I
Man's
feel
Sky,
ridiculous over here.
every star is the light of a distant sun. Each orbited by planets teeming with life. Travel to planets of your choosing in this infinite, procedurally generated universe. Here, you'll discover
believe they ported this.
extraordinary lands
Like, I didn't-
and creatures
I
that
thought
have never
this
been
had
seen
like
before
saturated its,
and may never be seen again.
its
To survive, you must craft your own tools and
that's kinda
even your
cool.
own place to live.
Oh, yeah, No Man's Sky still has a pretty big following.
In this living and breathing universe, trade convoys travel.
I didn't know this game existed till the direct.
Factions vie for territory.
I remember hearing about it and like it went off to a rough start.
And the authorities are ever watchful.
Yeah, it's initially
Much
not
different about it.
Maybe
Not
fraught with
about
danger.
you, but they've built on
Actions
it
have
as far as I
consequences.
understand.
Yeah, they did.
Trainer.
It almost
Yeah,
like
fire.
I bought it when it launched, and I was wanted because I love space.
How will you
And just
live in
the
this
idea
universe?
of being able to go anywhere, like the whole promise, but it was a small
No Man's
studio
Sky
that got
lands on Nintendo
passed
Switch
on.
this
I mean, they had
Yeah.
so much expectations for such a small studio, and they couldn't, deliver. And making a game is not easy.
No,
Like,
it's
it's
not.
not easy. And
Better than like
a,
AAA level.
a space sandbox game too.
Yeah.
And every time you go somewhere or go somewhere else, it's cheap. I might pick it up again. It's like $19.99, but I have a feeling it's gonna be $49.99. And this does look good too. I'm waiting for Hoops too. That'll be cool.
Mario Strikers Battle League. Prepare for Strike, a 5-on-5 sport like soccer that's way heavy on offense. Aim for goals by dribbling and passing to teammates, as well as by using tackles, items,
I still can't get over Mario in
and crushing
the,
special shots.
yeah, I get it team thing, but like he looks
The
wrong.
main
in
rule
other
in this
colors.
sport is to rule the field. Try to score more
The game
goals
is
than your
nice.
opponent. There are two things to keep in mind that'll help you with your strategies. First, the gear you equip. It changes not only your appearance, but also your stats like speed, strength, and pass accuracy. Customize as you see fit. Second, the Hyper Strike. To activate this shot, grab an orb when it appears on the field and charge it while your opponents are distracted. Hit the net and you'll score not one, but 2 goals. Up to 8 players, 4 players on each team can compete against each other on one Nintendo Switch system. In addition to individual matches, online play will have an online club mode. Join an in-game club and compete for placement in the rankings. Up to 20 players can join a club, so create your own and invite friends and family to play alongside you, or join an existing one owned by other players. Try to become the world's top club. With items, tackles, and Hyper Strikes. Anything goes on this field. Mario Strikers Battle League launches on Nintendo Switch June 10th. Pre-orders begin today on Nintendo eShop.
So I'm thinking about it, but
The
it's
latest
great.
iteration of the Mario Strikers series is coming to Nintendo Switch. We hope you're excited for this anything goes battle soccer game.
Oh, that's the first 7
That's the
minutes. You guys
first
want to talk about it?
I wanted to talk about the Fire Emblem. When I first saw it, there were rumors that they were going to do another Fire Emblem Echoes. Like there was some stuff floating around, and then someone else told me that they might continue with the Three Houses, and they did. And I think they did it in the format of how they did Age of Calamity, where it's like we're able to control the characters more and all that. And then also you can tell, like if you play through Three Houses, you can tell that like the second part, it looks like their second part of themselves look like nothing like what happened in the story. Like you see Edelgard, she doesn't look like that maniacal Edelgard when you played this story. God, I forgot my guy's name. For Blue Lions, I forgot his name, but I loved his name too. I loved his story. Like when I first did, I played as Blue Lions. I loved this story because he was this.
What was his
name?
I
I forgot his name. He was like this wide-eyed, like abide by the rules, royal.
He was your classic JRPG hero.
Yeah, but then and this is spoilers, by the way. This is like spoilers. Just let you guys know, spoilers. Everyone's watching spoilers. And then during the story, he gets corrupted by his own fury and his own malice, and then he ends up being like this, no matter who you are, I'm gonna kill you. Even when you meet up with him, he intends on killing you in the first place with no reason why he's gonna kill you. He's just like, that's just where I'm at, and I'm gonna kill you.
I think it's Edelgard. Edelgard got that.
Yeah.
She got that thing, like Lauryn Hill used to say. It's Edelgard. She got that thing.
So
it's Edelgard. Blame it on the Black Eagles.
And and then I forgot the golden. I think Edelgard's name sticks in my mind because she had she made an impression on me in that whole thing. And she has two stories. Like if you can go up against her, you can go with her, and she has two different side stories there. But if you can look at it this, their whole situation is different. So I'm kind of intrigued on where what they're going to do. Are they going to do something like they did with Age of Calamity, where all that stuff that happens to them in the middle of those games don't happen, and it's just something else happens instead?
Like the remake Final Fantasy VII,
something like that, But yeah, I'm interested to see more. I didn't expect a Warriors game at all. I didn't expect another Warriors game, and if I did, I would have wanted. I was expecting it like how they did for the first game, where it's everyone just gets thrown into this one world, and then you get to use them. Kind of, it's funny. That's what they did with Hyrule. They just grabbed everyone from all these worlds and just threw them into one.
Yeah,
that's kind of funny.
And then they saw how AOC did, and they're like, "Oh, we can make some mint off of this."
Yeah. Now
they're doing it with Three Houses.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what they do. I know we're not going to get the same story because it feels like we're going to get a Age of Calamity thing happening where something happens and it doesn't go through the story. But
just say that, and correct me if I'm wrong. But it's not really correct. This is my opinion. More really is it's kind of like the calamity. I mean the calamity, but the Warrior games are good. I've had all the Warrior games. I haven't had Calamity. I didn't buy Calamity, but I watched the homeboy play it. So I have had the one on that was on Wii U with the Hyrule Warriors, and then I did have Fire Emblem Warriors. I like them, but they're not the original game. And when Nintendo, all the games that really came out, they rumored every game. If you in the trenches, Front Mission. I know we haven't got there yet, but they talked about Front Mission. Fire Emblem. Remember, it was rumors about Fire Emblem that was supposed to be coming out, and It was something else I was gonna say to that point you mentioned.
Oh, okay.
It was, to me, this Fire Emblem Three Houses is like what is like the Final Fantasy VII of it's the benchmark. It's the one that got the national attention. Just like Persona 5 got the national attention, it's the one that made the regular viewer, like the casuals or people who never played it, like interested. And Fire Emblem Three Houses is not only one of my favorite Switch games, but it's actually on my top 10 favorite games, just for the sheer volume that I played of the game, just how, like, I hadn't played a Final Fantasy Fire Emblem since Lyn, and before that Marth, and that was the ROM. So I remember like trying to play in Japanese right when I found out who the hell Marth was in 01 when Melee came out. And the game looks good. I'm gonna pick it up because of Three Houses. I love Three Houses. The only one I have not beat was Blue Lions. I still forgot his name, but I did beat Claude.
His name is Dimitri. Dimitri. That's his name.
I don't know how many homies named Dimitri. It's probably why GEAK got a brother name, but Dimitri. I haven't beat his. For the reasons you said, that's why I didn't. He seemed too atypical for me. I didn't want to go down that road. I did beat Eldegarde twice, and it really comes down to if you what was her name? Why can't I remember her name? I really liked her.
Oh,
she was like
I think I know who you're talking
old.
about.
It's been so long since I played the game. She's got green hair. She's I'm not talking about Sothis. I'm not talking about the goddess.
Oh,
why can't I remember her name?
Is she on the
She's playable, but if you
Black
choose,
Eagles?
No, she's on the church. She's with the church. Her daddy.
Oh,
if you choose her, what was her name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
She's like the best healer in the game, and you can't have her in Eldegarde. Like they do that Chrono. Also another game out here. They do that Chrono Cross thing where you can't have Rasley and you can't have Glenn on the same team or the same time. You have to choose. What was her name?
I have it right here. Her name is Flane or something like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
she was such a great character. She had such great character development. And her and Eldegarde together was a great team. But after the story splits, you can't it's hard. But yeah. I'm rambling. The game looks good. I'm gonna get it. As much shit as I talk about, I'm still gonna get it. Fire Emblem is like that game was amazing for me, and I haven't played the DLC, but I will go back.
I haven't either.
I was just looking at the for a second. If you look up, they have a section in the when you go into the what do you call it, the eShop or whatever, and like my friend just texted me. He said, he's bragging. I don't know if he's bragging or he's just like, hey, I just paid for mine. I can't wait for Mario Kart. I just paid $24 for it. I was like, well, I'll get mine for free, But I checked it, and then if you go in there and I go into to place my pre-order, but it goes into another screen where I don't, because I'm already one of those expansion pack members.
So you don't need to do that.
No,
you don't need to do that.
What happened with Animal Crossing, and I'm sure this will work the same, is there was like once it released, I don't know what it did when you could pre-order it or if you could pre-order it. Once it went live, there was a separate thing that you could pick that was like, I'm a expansion pass owner, and you click on that and it just starts downloading it for you. It validates it, and you have the pass, and it just downloads it. So you don't have to pre-order anything. That will take you, I'm sure, through like a purchase process.
Right.
But they should have something like that where you just like click on the different thing.
You guys want to go to the next phase? The next 7-8 minutes?
I want to talk about the other games that were on that video.
Sure, yeah.
Ryan, did you have anything about Fire Emblem? Because we didn't get with you.
No, I'm not personally. This may be like blasphemy to some in the chat here, but I'm not into Fire Emblem. There's something I don't care about the characters for some reason. Like I can't get attached to any of them, so I've never attached to the series. And And yeah, nothing. We haven't got yet to the stuff that I'm actually interested in talking about. So you guys,
This was actually my first one that I played and finished. Like the other one with Marth, and I was on the same page as you. Like I liked Lynn as a character, and I played a lot of her part in the Game Boy Advance. And then I don't know what. Oh, that was a ROM too. And then I just was going to college and stuff at the time, so I stopped. I just stopped playing, but I always liked Lynn, and that's why I wanted her in instead of Roy. But I'm with you. I didn't get what was it, Awakening and I had the opportunity to get it for GameCube, and I should have when it was like I didn't have to give up my firstborn child for it. But it's because it's crazy. And that's like $200, $300 now for like a brand new copy. But this one for me, I've gotten Persona 5 did that for me because that was, believe it or not, my first Persona as well.
Same.
Because I had 1 and 2, but they got stolen. So I you know how you just get a game and you'll turn it on. I'm like, oh, I'll play it again. But by getting stolen, I never got a chance to play. So when I got a chance to play 5, it just like blew my mind. And I've really fallen in love now with the Affinity, which we'll get into. The Xenoblade had that with the Affinity. When I got a super take for Xenoblade later too. But I really enjoyed this one because I like waifus, and ain't no way for me to beat around the bush about it. And they had a whole bunch of them, big ones, small ones, green.
I'm gonna guess which one you picked.
I'm
just gonna guess. I'm gonna guess which one you picked.
Let me see. I'm curious.
You picked because I have a list of all the characters right here of Black Eagles. Well, actually, dang, because there's two characters I think you picked, and I think knowing you well enough that it would be either between Dorotha and Petra.
No, neither.
Really?
Really?
I
actually started with the Golden Deer, and what's her name?
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm tripping.
What is her name?
You did do that. I'm tripping. You did.
I can't remember her name. It's her name. Her name wasn't Catherine. She has the orange hair. Oh shit, I can't remember her name.
Leonie,
the archer. Leonie? Yes, that's my baby. Leonie Never Phony.
Okay, that's my girl. I'm tripping. I'm gonna tell you
guys. This is my trope. I like ride or die chicks. This like in real life and on games. Tifa, she puts up with all the bullshit that Cloud has done. Cloud don't want her. He wants a dead woman. His homie's girl. Let's say that again. His homie's girl. He has DID. He needs to be on Fight Club Part 2. And I love Cloud. I love Tifa. He's in love with his homie's girl. Tifa still sticking with him 2 years later while he's slurping on a damn miasma. You know, he's tripping off a ghost. And she's still with him. And she got hands. Makoto, Persona 5. I like Makoto because she was smart and she challenged me, and I like a challenge. Leonie, the same thing. Leonie was a ride or die. Once you had her heart, that was it. That was it. You know, I know I got like extra hyped up there about Tifa and Cloud because that makes me so angry with him.
You want Tifa?
Stupid. Yes.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
that's the whole reason why.
Who doesn't want like a Tifa type? Not just because the breast. I mean, because
she's a loyal.
When you say Tifa, everybody's just like, oh, it's just because the G's. No, it's because of the character.
Yeah,
she has to make Tifa.
Yeah, the reason I picked those two because they felt like they fit the criteria of a Tifa. That's why I picked it. That's why I picked them.
Leonie does, and then also Eldegard. I also like people with Moxie.
That's true. You could.
I talk a lot of shit, so I can't have somebody too passive. You know, and Tifa can hit you. She can fight. So
yeah,
and you know, Makoto was smart. Leonie could fight. You know, so I like those type of characters.
That's true. So the next one that we saw was Advance Wars. I heard you guys talking about Advance Wars while the video was going. I loved Advance Wars when it was on the Game Boy Advance. Like I played that game through a ROM, but I played it extensively because it was just something that I've never played before. And it was during a time where I was like, what's out there? You know what I mean? Like what's out there that's going to hold my attention for a little bit. You know, when I first discovered, you know, Visual Game Boy, I was like, cool. I was like, what's out there? And Advance Wars was one of them. And I was like, oh man, this game's actually cool. it reminded me a little bit of Fire Emblem because I remember my friend let me borrow Fire Emblem once, but he took it back. And I ended up playing Advance Wars, and I enjoyed it. And I remember because of Advance Wars, I tried out Battalion Wars on GameCube because it felt like kind of the same thing. But I'm really excited for this one, not only because of the nostalgia, but they have online multiplayer on there. And I already told Cliff that we're doing that the second it comes out. We're doing multiplayer. So we can play that, but I'm excited for that. It looks really good. I like the remaster, and that's another game I can't wait for. And we're getting both of them, which is pretty cool.
I would like to have gotten the 3, but I know what Nintendo's doing. They're doing smart stuff. They're just testing the market with everything. They're like, okay, we'll see. They did that with Dread. Like, like we're gonna do this with Dread. Dread's a great game. I'm not taking nothing away from it. So don't come looking for me with pitchforks. What I'm saying is that's not the big blockbuster. The big 3 is Pokemon, Zelda, and Mario. Everything else, Nintendo really kind of acts like it's the stepchild. So I like that they took an olive branch to Metroid Prime or Metroid this time around because I don't like the way they do Samus. Samus is the first lady in Nintendo, should not be on the shelf like that long. From GameCube to now, like and I'm talking about major console. I'm not talking about, because this is the thing. I'm so glad that the Switch is together because now we don't have to have this problem. So many people didn't play Advance Wars because it was on the Game Boy. Not everybody wants to play the Game Boy. Not everybody wants to sit at home and play the console, but now you can do both.
Yeah, my Switch never leaves the dock. I'm a console gamer.
Sometimes it does for me.
But
I'm a 70. I think I'm a 70-30. 70% dock, about 30% handheld.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that option. I just don't use it, but like you're saying, it unites
give me Netflix and I'll use
the
it.
franchises and all the potential for fans.
They have Funimation. I've been eating up Funimation on it. Like
I
eat up Funimation on it. Well, you're never gonna get that.
Oh, I know that's not happening. That's why
because Funimation it is slurped up Crunchyroll. So I'm just waiting for them to merge. So then it's so stupid, and I'm not gonna go the anime route, but it's so stupid. I'm just saying this because why are the companies are already combined? Stop playing around and close Crunchyroll already, and then just add the stuff. If you go to their official website, they're like, well, we're gonna do it. Soon.
I'm not gonna
Why
lie.
am I paying $6.99 for Funimation and $7.99 for Crunchyroll? Just merge the content. Like, that's not right. So many people don't even realize. A lot of people, the average consumer, probably doesn't know.
I got
Come on,
great
Sony.
answer both because I didn't know what was on what, and I'm happy with that.
I just got Crunchyroll because, first of all, I got a free month, so I just did it and I just continued it. And I remember hearing that, oh yeah, Funimation has their own streaming service too. Then I look back and I was like, you were right. I was like, yeah, like why is Crunchyroll still here? Funimation now has their own. They didn't have it before.
Ask Sony.
They didn't have it before.
They own it now.
But that's a whole nother conversation. I don't
know what they're doing.
You guys ready for a second clip or not yet?
Does anyone want to talk about Strikers before we go to the?
Oh yeah, Strikers.
I'm good with Strikers. It looked good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then we can go to the next one. Because I'm gonna be the only one talking about it. I'm gonna be the only one talking about it. I was super excited to see Strikers because I played the Wii U. I played the GameCube version for a little bit, and then I never got to play the Wii version. But then when they have this one coming out, and it's funny because me and Cliff were talking yesterday about it. We're like, yo, we should get a Strikers game. And then like lo and behold, we get Strikers, and it's just like, yo, like this happens almost all the time. So I can't wait for that. That's gonna be fun. It's just another nice sports game.
A Xenoblade video. I'm glad I didn't already pre-record because I would have been very pissed off because they just did a surprise direct on us, and I know Nintendo always has directs in February, but it just was like no notice, boom, and then I would have been
Yeah.
very upset that I sit here and speculated and did a Chronos and sit here and talk all this shit about Xenoblade 3.
Oh,
When is we
man.
not getting it? And then today
They
it
just
would have been a
pop
video,
up.
and that would have
And
been
then
like 4 or 5 hours got wasted.
And then you would have to take that video down because you don't want no trouble with nobody.
Sometimes you need the trouble. The trouble helps out sometimes.
That's
Let's
true.
What other trouble we get into with this next clip? If you guys are ready, 3,
Go ahead.
I'm good. Yeah.
2, 1, and let's go.
Next, please take a look at this.
I think Ryan talked about this. Diamond was cool, but yeah, I'm not sold on Splatoon 3 yet.
No,
I
yeah,
think
it
we'll
looks
wait for something
good.
more. I don't think it
Looks
showed
like
us
there's-
everything they got to show.
They need to show something that's like new and fresh. This looks good, but it looks like what I played. And I don't have enough
I absolutely
interest
love
to
Salmon
play it
Run,
again.
but yeah, I love Salmon Run. It was probably the best mode in the entire game, but yeah,
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah,
it doesn't sell me
It's
yet.
good fun, but this looks like more of that. Not. I need to see something fresh. Which is ironic because they like market the whole series like, oh, we got
Ryan, I can't see you.
all these fresh outfits. But like,
I'll be honest with you. I already want this game, from my opinion. But I want to see more. Right? I do want this. Like, I want it now. But I do expect to get some more information and more within the game, maybe a storyline or something.
yeah, I think it's worth getting excited
It
over.
can't just be just this. It can't just be just this. That's what I'm thinking.
I just need something more from everything done.
I want about this all I can't. I have nothing to say. I have, believe it or not, I'm probably the only person who's never picked up Splatoon. I've never played Splatoon.
I mean, as a series, I would recommend trying it. So, like,
I'm gonna get 3.
the newest one, but
Yeah, I'm gonna get 3.
Yeah,
That's why I
that's what I was
waited.
gonna say. Get 3, bro.
I was gonna get because some folks are trying to talk me into getting 2, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get 2. It's $59.99 on it, and
Yeah.
3's about to drop. And guess what? At one of the last directs, guess what happened? They announced it. I ended up trading this, and I bought it. Bought it brand new, and I went and traded it back in for Tokyo Mirage Sessions for the week, first one. So then I didn't realize it was gonna be as big as it was. And that everybody
That
was
was
gonna
the
be like a
trailer for the
Nintendo
co-op mode
first person
Splatoon
shooter,
3
but
game.
almost
The next
third
wave
person
of
shooter.
Salmon Run. A giant salmonid, one that's never been seen before.
I know I'm just gonna get my ass kicked when I do
At the
play.
end
I
of the
just
trailer.
gotta
Were the
accept it.
inklings and
I always do.
ink or swim?
yeah, it's the competition is tough, and it doesn't necessarily match make well. None of the
Let's move
online
on to
games
more
I find
Nintendo
like
Switch
there's always
headlines.
matches where I'm like, why was I pitted against this player?
At the ready.
Like I'm not equal skill.
This is the one I was surprised about. I was surprised they did this.
Yeah,
This front
I was
mission.
very surprised.
yeah. This is front mission.
Yes,
I
I was,
very
but I
surprised with
wasn't. They've been talking about it. It's been rumors.
Okay.
They've been talking about it.
A full
You know, a lot of
remake
times
of
when
the
I
first
saw
front
Front
mission
Mission,
game
like,
is
Chrono
storming
Cross.
onto
Yeah, Chrono
Nintendo
Cross.
Switch.
It's fire
When I,
somewhere.
when I saw
This
Front Mission, I
time
was like,
with
whoa,
RPG,
what?
You'll pilot
Front
weapons
Mission's coming back.
I played the first
Panzers
one, and
and lead your
also in
battalion to
Japanese.
victory.
and a patch for English, and
Gain
it
the
didn't.
upper
It looked
hand
like
in
this,
battle
but it
by
didn't look this
aiming for
good.
enemy
Like this
partners.
looks
Right.
amazing.
Yeah, this looks really great.
I
Mix
love
and
these
match
kind of
various
like,
weapons
strategy
and
based,
parts
and when
to
you can
customize
when they
your
have multiple
Panzer.
elements that add on to the gameplay. You might get a
Uncover the
boss and
great
you have to shoot
storyline.
guns
It's
off
classic.
first, or
When Front
you know,
Mission 1
destroy
Remake
something.
launches
I
on
love
Nintendo
it.
Switch
That's why I like
this
the
summer.
Dance Wars as well.
And in the future, the sequel, Front Mission 2 Remake, will also launch on Nintendo Switch.
That means we're probably going to get Front Mission 3.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%.
Get set for a high-octane Disney.
I want this. This looks good.
I mean, they say it's free to play, so
Asphalt series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rip
May as well
roaring
It
try
does
racing
look
across
rough.
Disney and
Like the
Pixar
first look at it,
inspired
it does look pretty
racetracks.
rough.
Race as a
But
legendary
if it's a free to
roster
play,
of
then we're
characters
definitely
on
going to see
high-speed
that
circuits,
graphical
using
overhaul.
each
Not
one's
an overhaul,
special
but
abilities
just
to battle for
add-
victory across
touch
the
it up a
finish
little bit
line.
later.
Choose Mickey Mouse for some
Like
fun
Mickey's
speed,
ears look kind of square.
Sully
It's
for
kind of weird.
monstrous power, or Mulan for explosive maneuvers. Each racer also possesses powerful ultimate skills, perfect for turning the tables at the last second. Disney Speedstorm is a free-to-play game with new seasons added regularly, bringing more exciting Disney and Pixar characters, circuits, carts, and more. Plus, enjoy cross-platform play as well as split-screen and online multiplayer modes. Disney Speedstorm races onto Nintendo Switch this summer.
The second they add Buzz Lightyear, then I'll download this game.
Dive into these
they're gonna add
classic
him to
franchises on Nintendo Switch. Unleash
true.
the power of the Force.
This I was
Classic
super
Star
surprised
Wars
about.
action adventure.
Yeah.
As Darth
I
This
didn't
was fun. I had this on the Wii.
You'll
I
use
can't.
devastating
Don't
force
think
powers
it's
and lightsaber
that
combos
graphically
that
updated,
down
but-
Jedi Masters.
Yeah, this is like when I saw it, I was like, this has to be
Upgraded abilities
the
like Force Grip and Force Repulse. Then
like-
combine
like-
them for even more destructive combos.
like this. Like I'm not gonna
Use
like.
button
I had it for the
controls
360
or
and the
opt for
PS3,
motion
so
controls,
I
enhanced
kind
from
of
the
got
original Wii version.
like the more
You can also
optimal
duel
version of the
locally
game,
with
if I
friends
can
to
say
determine
that.
who is the galaxy's most powerful Jedi. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
It had
Launches on
decent
Nintendo
motion
Switch
controls,
April
so I
20th.
would.
Pre-orders begin
I
today on
I think I
Nintendo
would.
eShop. The
I
complete
think they said
saga
that's
of
happening
legendary
over here.
assassin Ezio Auditore da Firenze.
Assassin's Creed is always amazing.
Acclaimed Assassin's Creed games.
It was. I don't have a
Explore
reason to go back
Renaissance
to this.
Italy
These
and
though.
16th century Constantinople.
It's just too
with
much.
historical figures and
If you
discover
play
secrets
these
of
three
the
games,
across
yeah.
3
If you
games,
play these 3
2
games, you know
bonus
how
short
much
films,
time you have to
and
spend. And
DLC.
it's just like I'm not
Plus,
looking
take
forward to going
advantage
back
of
and doing that
enhanced
again.
features for the Nintendo
Sometimes
Switch
when you miss
system
a
on the
game
go.
when you don't catch it on the
Touchscreen
way.
controls, HD
And,
rumbles,
Yeah.
and it's
and
kind of hard to go
optimized
back. That's what
on-screen
Assassin's
display.
Creed was for me.
Assassin's
Yeah.
I didn't
Creed
catch the
Ezio
wave
collection.
when everybody
Launches
was
on
playing
Nintendo
it,
Switch February
and
17th.
not that I can't, I just kind of like go out of the loop with it. Like
This
this
one-
I don't know if I want to go back.
Strange
This
incidents
one I
called
cried
breaks
about.
are
I played
all
Old
across
Pro.
the Gundam universe.
I cried
Find out
over this
what's
game
causing
because I didn't expect to see
story's
this game,
proper
and we're
timeline.
getting it, and I'm super
You'll need
happy.
3 mobile suits in battle.
I like the idea. I just
Each
wish it
suit
wasn't
parts to
shitty.
improve their power.
Because
You can also
it's
battle
Gundam SD.
alongside
Like,
friends
Gundam
in
SD
online
is
co-op
like is a
multiplayer.
secondary like
SD
popular
Gundam Battle Alliance
version of
launches on
Gundam,
Nintendo
so like
Switch
so
this
that's why
year.
they're
Okay.
riding that wave of doing it this way.
Okay, I've only ever
2
gotten
worlds
into
cross
Running
in the
Speed.
triumphant return of this
Here we
RPG
go.
classic. A remaster of the acclaimed
Wow.
RPG
Real.
Chronoz.
I definitely want to.
Nintendo
It
Switch.
looks
I'm
good.
excited that they brought this.
It really looks
Who
good.
played this game?
I think
Antagonist
I have.
this is
that wanders in
This is
an
definitely time for me to get it.
I've never have, and I need to play it.
somewhat resembles his
It's,
I haven't either.
He
I'm
finds
just gonna
that
tell
he no
y'all,
longer
if you play
exists.
Chrono Trigger,
How did this
it
happen?
ain't Chrono Trigger.
What is this mysterious another?
No, I played Chrono Trigger.
Travel
but-
It's a
back
great
and
game.
forth between
Chrono
both
Trigger's a great
worlds
game,
to unravel
but
the
it's
story.
not. Look at
Over
it go
40
fast.
characters
It
can
ain't
join
Chrono
your
Trigger.
party. Depending on the choices you make,
That's
the
fine.
allies
For-
who accompany
being
you
Chrono
and
Trigger
the
is a
enemies that
hard-
trigger will differ.
Yeah.
A number of
That's
improvements have been made to
that's
this
why I would just say, 'cause,
remaster,
you know, a lot of times
like the
it's
ability
not
to
the
turn off
sequel.
enemy encounters
Now, Radical
and a
Dreamers is
newly
that in
enhanced
between the one that I'm
soundtrack.
glad that they added that.
Plus,
Yeah, I'm glad they
Radical
added
Dreamers,
the enemy
originally
encounter
released
thing.
on
I'm
the
glad
Satella
they did
is
that too.
included.
Isn't that basically like a
in this text-based
not quite
adventure.
visual novel, but it's like bridging the 2 stories?
Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition,
It's
It's
which
a
dashes
People
and
say-
slashes its way
About
onto
Link,
Nintendo Switch
since they haven't
April
played, I'm
7th.
not gonna say too much.
Pre-orders
But it
begin
explains about
today
Link
on
and
Nintendo
Kid
eShop.
and Scala and all of the relationships that bridged up to that. So
Okay.
it's, I mean, we didn't get it, so that's why, you know, we didn't
Yeah.
know
Hey,
what it was,
guys.
'cause when I got Chrono Cross, I know what the hell was going on.
I was just looking at the you know how it says on Mario Kart the wave 1, 2, 3. There's 6 waves now.
Yeah.
The first wave is 3:18:22, but when you look at the other waves, the estimated end when the waves end is 12:31:23.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, they have the
They're gonna space them out pretty
They're
well.
gonna
They're
do
gonna
a
space them out
season,
pretty well.
yeah. They're
They're
gonna
gonna
do
space
it
them
like
out really well.
like Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
That's
they're
their
gonna
new.
space them out.
That's their new model.
Yeah, because they already have that first wave done. Now they're working on the other waves.
Yeah, the next
I
stuff,
can
yeah.
I can probably guarantee you. You was on my stream earlier today.
Oh yeah, I was. I heard that whole thing.
And the homie Christian Arnegro, he came in. That's his name for real.
That's
he
his
was
name.
he was talking to me about making it about the quality over quantity, and I'm glad that we got these. I'm glad that we're getting this, but it's no excuse that it took 8 years. It's almost a decade we're playing the same damn game. They could have rolled this out when the Switch came out. It was no reason other than they already got it, so they're already done with these. They're just gonna sprinkle these out because he said, "Oh, it's gonna be another Mario Kart." Before I said, "Bro,
we talked about this. Didn't
why
we, Ryan,
would it
before
be
we
another
started?
Mario Kart when they're doing this? It costs them nothing now to do this."
Yeah.
And these old stages, they're just they're optimizing the stages. I mean, you think that since 2014 that they haven't had time to do it. Like I'm excited about it. I don't even mind paying the $25. Like, you should have took my money years ago. But I used to play Mario Kart every Monday. Do you know how stale it gets for 2 or 3 years streaming and playing Mario Kart? The same stages.
It does.
And that's what I mean. It's just we were just over the same thing, and it was no reason for them not to do it.
Yeah.
I think
they found a lull in sales, honestly.
No,
things slowed enough that they're like, oh, if we give you more content, you'll keep buying it.
It's cheaper.
It's still on the top. It's still on the top.
It's cheaper to do that. It's way cheaper just to. I don't know if it was me and Ryan who talked about it, or it was me and Clef, but we were like, it's a great move that they did this, because instead of just having to try to get this insane budget to make 9, they can just say, well, people are going to buy 8 if we just give them all the tracks from all the other ones plus all the tracks from Mario Kart Tour. And people are going to be like, oh, shoot, I already got Mario Kart. Oh, wait, I don't have Mario Kart, but we're getting you. But I played these tracks with you, but they're getting new tracks. All right, cool, let's do it. And it's 48. I think, like, what? The original came with 16. And you're right, Geek. Like, if they were going to call it deluxe, why not just, instead of giving us, I don't know how many tracks. I didn't play original 8. I played deluxe. But instead of just giving us,
nobody played. That's the problem. Because only 14 million people had a Wii U.
Yeah.
I used to sit like this.
They fixed the
problem. I
problem.
used to sit like this with the controller looking. Like, is anybody online? Like, the little waiting room, the little where you can draw, and it was so cute, but nobody was there to play.
Yeah, there's a lot more people. Even still, like, you can still jump on and get into a full lobby with people all over the world, and then now they're just, you're right. I don't think we're going to really see anything for a new Mario Kart anytime soon, because what they just did, and it was super smart. It was smart.
Next system 9 will.
Yeah, they're gonna do the same thing. Watch the same thing. What's today? 2/9/22. Remember when I said 2/9/22? This is their new model. They're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna attempt to do the same thing with Smash Brothers as well. They're just gonna take it from the next console, and so when they get ready to do an upgrade or whatever, then Mario Kart 9 is going to be the new one. It'll probably come out then, and then they'll have it to last for the whole one to the next one, like they did 8 with the Wii U. It's a smart business move as a consumer, and just playing. I like it. I love the fact that we got more stages. I guess I'm just being nitpicking, because it seems like we should have had this earlier. Like, the Switch came out in 2017.
That's fair. I guess
5 years ago. The game and the game is still $59.99. By the way,
of course,
it is still one of the. I think it's what is it, like the 5th most selling Switch game? It's up there. It's sold more than Mario Odyssey.
I thought it was the first.
Is it?
It was the first for a little bit, and then it like kind of did this when other games started to. I think Breath of the Wild did the same thing. Like, Breath of the Wild did the same thing. It was here, then it was here, then it was here, then went back here.
Right. 43.35 million copies since from April 28, 2017 to December 31st, 2021. Yeah, and then it's Animal Crossing at 37 million, and then Smash Brothers at 27 million. Damn, Animal Crossing more than Smash Brothers. Wow.
Yeah, because Animal Crossing came under a pandemic, so that was like the perfect time for everybody to just sit there and play.
It exploded,
the perfect time. Like it was perfect. Like it was planned. It was very unplanned, but that unplanned thing was very successful. So I don't doubt that Animal Crossing destroyed Smash Bros. during sales like that.
Chrono Cross and Star Wars Force Unleashed, they're both each $19.99, so that's pretty decent.
That's fair.
$19.99. Okay, I'm definitely going for Chrono Cross.
That's fair.
That price.
Is it a release date for physical copies?
Physical. I gotta go to GameStop and I need to go do that.
Let me check that because I feel like with something like that, I'm
guessing not. But
I feel like with a game like that, we probably won't get a physical. Unfortunately, we probably won't get a physical copy.
That would suck because then I would like
Ring Fit is the number 10 Switch game.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Wait, what?
What is
Ring Fit Adventure?
Oh yeah.
13.53. My mom wanted that. Believe it or not, I was going to buy her a Switch.
I have it
for that. I was like, I'm going to get it for you, but I'm not going to get it and you don't play it.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Well,
I have
it.
That's
It's
just
a cheaper
$80
alternative
sitting.
to buying exercise equipment.
Yeah, it's like
You wasn't gonna
85.
play it,
It's
though.
like 80 to 85 bucks. It's like 80 to 85 bucks. Definitely during pandemic. That was the thing to get. I got it post, and I used it.
Monster Hunter.
And my mom was like, "What's this?" I'm like, "Oh, this is a fit trainer." She's like, "Well, you're gonna have to set this in the living room." I'm like, "Why am I gonna set my thing in the living room?" And then she's like, "You gonna set it in the living room?" So now my thing is in the living room now. So whenever she's like, "Hey, come set it up," I gotta go and set it up every single time.
Arceus is already at 6.5 million.
Bro,
that's crazy.
Geek. Arceus sold 6.3 million the first week. The first week Arceus sold. So there's no way that, and it goes back to what you said about Dread and about Advance Wars. It's about testing the waters. And the fact that they see that, hey, people are enjoying this game because we changed the formula of it, that only means that it gives us the ability to say, we're going to take this and we're going to add it to our mainline games now. Because there's no way. I guarantee, I'll say this. If I see Gen 9 and it looks exactly like Sword and Shield, I'm not buying it. Because
I don't believe you.
Such a great. No, I know. Okay. You know what? I will put something on that. I'll put something on that, and I will say, I promise you, you will not see Gen 9 on my Switch anywhere, nowhere. If they go back to how they had it before, because I feel like they gave me an experience, and I told people this who don't have it. Arceus is like experiencing Pokemon for the first time all over again.
Okay.
That's exact.
See, now that's what I was looking to hear the last time, because you would have had me probably buy it, but I just bought a new phone, so I'm glad
and I think I couldn't, it was hard for me to sell you that because all I'm going off is what the videos are telling me. I'm like, I can't really give you anything, but I put in at least like 60 hours already, and I'm already, and I tell everyone, whoever asks me about it, I'm like, look, Pokemon Arceus is like experiencing Pokemon for the first time again. And I feel like if they take that away from me and say we're gonna go this route, I'm gonna be upset, and I'm just gonna be like, I can't support that because you've given me this and it's proved this formula works, and you're just going and you're not gonna do it again. I was like, I'm gonna be torn on if I want to continue to support that.
No, I understand.
Support that way. But anyway, I think we're going a little bit off. We're going a little off the thing here. So
I'm excited to hear that Chrono Cross is so cheap. It looks really good, and I really want to play it. So that's for me is like, okay, that's a definite now. Did anyone see like what front mission looks really good too? Did anyone see what that costs? That's getting into like, if I'm like
hoping
I'm going through this, I'm like, how am I placing things in terms of like how badly do I need this? What am I gonna pay for it? So that one is kind of at the bottom of the list as to like I have a very specific amount in mind I will pay on it.
Did we get a release date on
No,
it?
I
Though?
feel
I
that.
don't remember if we
which
saw
one?
a release date on it. On
It's
Front
I
Mission-
think it
Front
said
Mission
summer
first.
for the first one, and then they didn't say anything obviously for the second.
I don't. I mean, I don't know.
It's a lot of games coming out this year. It's a lot of games. I still don't even have a PS5 or an Xbox yet, so it's a lot of games.
Mhm.
And I'm not about to fight anybody for one. And I really don't want one fanless in either. Like, unless they have some new special ion technology where it cools itself, but that would be like $1,000.
You see what Black said? He said, "What if I bought it for you? It'll be sitting in that package, man."
I mean, Black, if you want to buy me, you out here, my birthday's March 23rd, bro. You want to buy me, look, one that hooked me up with one of them. I even take, because I'm picky, I don't want the digital PlayStation 5. Yeah, I don't want that. If you want to get me the disc, I want disc. I like my things physical.
Physical.
I spit the camera.
Let me know when you guys ready for the third clip.
But I'm excited to play Chrono Cross because I've never played it, and Geek's always telling me,
I'm always telling you about Chrono Trigger.
But when I asked about Chrono Cross a couple times, and you were just like, you said it's not Chrono Trigger, but
if you haven't played Chrono Trigger, my suggestion, if you haven't played either, play Chrono Trigger first. Chrono Trigger is by far the superior game.
If you guys
have to play Chrono Trigger,
I recommend this.
Yeah, Gaia is good too. I don't have that copy.
Illusion of Gaia, yes.
Yeah, I'll definitely go through both of them, but yeah.
Trigger first. The only reason I say that they're like separated because one's about time and one's about dimensions and stuff.
Right.
Chrono Trigger
is a little more of a gumbo pot of things. That's how I say it. Trigger is is a lot more confined.
Chrono Trigger is arguably the perfect JRPG.
It is. It's
gonna give you a hug on your birthday.
Regardless of if you play Cross, you just have to play Chrono Trigger at some point. You can get it cheap on like Steam or whatever. So
I think I do have it.
You can get it on your phone. I got it on my phone too.
That's
like don't do it on Steam. Don't do it on Steam.
I don't want to play it on my phone because it's like I don't feel like it won't feel right.
Get it on PC, but
yeah, I was say what to do. You can get it for free $99. You know,
pay $9 for mine.
Rodeo. Mine is my original. My Chrono Trigger is still the same one I had. Punk ass Petey. One of my homeboys. This you got to watch your folks. The people who is to say the closest. It was a store called Video Zone, and they were going out of business. They sold all the games. You couldn't find Chrono Trigger because this PlayStation was out now, so you couldn't find it. And I was broke. I'm a kid, like 14, 15 years old, and I hit Chrono Trigger. It was me, Eric, Petey, and Daniel. Petey had all the games, and he just like sit on them. He's the one that spoiled Final Fantasy for me. Final Fantasy 7, 8, all these games. He just a Luffy 2. He just spoil them because I take too much time. Long story short, I hide the game underneath the thing. I said, "All right, y'all, I'm gonna come back." This little punk ass. What he does is he goes home, gets the money from his mother, doesn't tell anybody, walks his little ponytailed ass back to the store, and I go and got the money the next day. Like I think I traded something or something because my mom's not buying games. In 95, she said, "You got to get your own job. You got to do it." So I started a paper route and everything. So I had to go buy my own game. So I go back, and then then Daniel's going to tell me, Petey got it. I was so pissed. But you know what? You know what happened? His favorite game was Lufia 2. I have Lufia 2, Rise of the Sentinels, but my copy was broke. I ended up going to a yard sale and found one for $10, and that worked. I still have that one. So I traded him his favorite game, the broke one, for my favorite game, which is Chrono Trigger. And who cares where his stuff is at now? But for me, that's how I got my Chrono Trigger. And also, he ended up eventually giving me I'm pretty sure you got it too, Chronos, the original poster with the map on the back. That came in. Was it Nintendo Power? Or did it? Because I didn't have the actual book, the the box, so I don't know.
You guys ready for 3?
Mm-hmm.
Third video?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm ready for this one.
Yeah, I didn't think I could get more interested in this game. Somehow this trailer. It's odd to say.
It's Kirby's latest unforgettable
I think it was
adventure, Kirby and the Forgotten
TJ when we were watching live that said this is like seeing this trailer. This literally
nature
is
and civilization.
pretty awesome.
To rescue the kidnapped Waddle Dees, Kirby sets off on a new adventure. Introducing
It's not about this.
Mouthful Mode. Inhale a car to zoom around.
That's cool.
A vending machine to attack the juice
Mouthful
cans.
mode. All right, Nintendo. Relax.
Or
Oh my gosh.
piercing code. With Mouthful Mode, new actions will be available for Kirby depending on the object he inhales.
Everything's gonna look mouthful mode, huh? All right.
Enjoy exploring with new moves different from copy abilities. Kirby can even recognize a mouthful of water, like this. As Kirby rescues Waddle Dees, Waddle D-Town will continue to grow, and more resources will become available. At Waddle Dee's Weapon Shop, familiar copy abilities can be evolved. Evolve copy abilities to expand Kirby's range of attacks. They'll also change Kirby's appearance and make him even more powerful. Some copy abilities may have stronger evolved forms. A new adventure awaits our pink puffball. Who are the beast men? What are these enemies trying to do? Can Kirby restore peace to this world? Kirby and the Forgotten Land launches on the Nintendo Switch system March 25th. Pre-orders are available now on Nintendo eShop.
That was Kirby and the Forgotten Land, launching later next month. Please look forward to its release. Let's take a look at some more Nintendo Switch headlines.
任天堂ディレクトをご覧の皆さん、こんにちは。バッターの大谷翔平です。
I thought this was cool because the show is usually a PlayStation exclusive and they decided to go cross platform.
Yes, Sony owns the studio that makes this, right?
That's right, Otani.
Yep. I might pick this up because they have an RPG mode in it.
And it's cool because it's cross progression too, so you can take it anywhere.
You can even play Exhibition with a single Joy-Con controller.
You guys weren't on for
You
when
can
we live
also earn
reacted.
and use content
No one
on
seems to
any
know
platform
that.
where
What's
MLB
up
The
with
Show
the
22 is available.
Actually,
Take your progress on the go with you.
That was
on
the first time I
Nintendo
seen that, Ryan.
Switch.
That was
Play
really,
MLB
I
The
didn't
Show
even know that
22
was
online matches on other consoles. No
They
need
probably
to
trying to work it
worry.
in.
You can invite
We're gonna
them
sneak
and
it
play
in, so
on.
like, we go, if it's always been there, why?
Yeah.
I knew you were a true two-way player, but this is ridiculous.
What, you supposed to be like Tommy Lasorda?
I guess. It's amusing, but it's like, what
Full
is
of games with
what
these
is the connection
collections.
with this to everything that you just
3 Kingdom Hearts collections are almost here.
I got nothing to say
From
about
Kingdom
this.
Hearts to Kingdom Hearts 3 and the
I'm going to
Remind
only
DLC.
say what I said
Every
live,
entry
which
is
was
coming to
why
Nintendo
I
Switch
get why
as cloud
3 maybe
versions
has
that
to
can be
be
played while
cloud
connected to the
based
internet.
on it's a PlayStation
Relive
4
or get to
game,
know
but
these heart-filled
the rest of
adventures
them
alongside
could
Sora,
be
Donald,
directly
Goofy,
other than
and more
we don't
for
want
the
to compress
first
it
time in
to the
TV,
numbers.
tabletop,
The
or
reason
handheld.
all of them are cloud because
Kingdom Hearts integral
1.5, what is that?
masterpiece for
1
cloud, containing all 3 game
1.5 and
collections,
2.5 and
soars onto Nintendo Switch
2.
tomorrow.
What's the other one?
Each
2.8 or something
1.5,
like that.
2.5,
will also be individually
and
available
like
on
2.9
Nintendo
or whatever. Those were released on the PS3 and
Klonoa
then
is
was
coming
released
to
on
Nintendo
the
Switch.
PS4.
Across
So-
dreamy side-scrolling levels,
So I think because of that, that's why
and
they have to
hover
go cloud.
while firing wind
This,
bolts
I like
to
this
grab
one.
and throw
I haven't seen
enemies.
this dude in like forever.
Use each level
Right.
So I was
surroundings
excited
to
to
your
see this again.
advantage.
I want this one.
I still have no idea who this character
Also,
is, but it looks
Klonoa 2 is included.
It was he was
Take on these
overshadowed
great
by Sonic.
adventures when
Because it's a
Klonoa
Sega.
Fantasy
I
Reverie
think it's a
series
Sega.
Yeah.
It
launches
was
on
overshadowed by
Nintendo Switch
Sonic, but
July 8th.
Sonic,
this
and
actually
then
pretty cool.
he came out around the time with what was his name, Bubsy.
We're
Bubsy
so
came
Yeah.
out,
You're
It does
here.
have a Sonic feel.
who I liked it
Here
was
often. Either
Sparkster.
way, you're in
Either
for a
way,
puzzling
I liked him,
treat.
the Awesome Possum.
In these award-winning games, the portal gun is your key to surviving imprisonment in a
This is another
mysterious lab.
surprising one that like
Create portals
you'd
and
think
warp to other areas
anyone
to
can
fight.
easily get access to. Like I bought it on sale on
Still
Steam. I haven't
unconfirmed.
played it yet.
You can pass through portals, and so can cubes,
It's a good get.
lasers,
Like it's
and robots with unnerving
looks
levels
like a
of
great game.
personality.
I look forward to
The
playing it, but
sequel
I'm not
adds
gonna
in
buy it
local,
again.
online,
I've
and
never
split-screen
played
multiplayer modes. And that
I haven't
is
either,
the
but
line.
I got them.
Neither is the
cheap,
sentient
so-
robot monitoring your every move. When Portal Companion Collection warps onto Nintendo Switch this year.
And
A classic comes alive.
This one I'm excited about. This one has really caught my eye like a lot. I'm really intrigued
Live a
about
Live?
this one. Yeah.
Yeah, TJ was talking it up. I
Live
haven't
is
heard
good.
it. It looks really good though. This is
I've
another one
heard
that's
about
coming
it.
in the
It's
cost.
kind of like the same thing with Second Death 2
Yeah.
and Taco Frontier, where you got a chance to play multiple characters in different lives and they all add up together. It's like one of the first things. I also played this along with Common Lagoon. They need to bring in Common Lagoon.
I don't know why it reminds me like gives me a feel of Prime.
Previously
Japanese
unreleased
version of this,
outside
I'm
of
playing
Japan,
it
the
somehow, so I can just get a
RPG
feel
Live
of it
Alive
beforehand.
makes its overseas debut, now in HD 2D. Multiple
Also, you
stories
can play
featuring
that,
different
but you can't play the
protagonists
greatest
and time
game
periods
of all
away.
time.
The order in which you
I didn't
tackle
say
them
that.
is up to
I'm
you.
just messing with you.
Prehistory, a
He's
like,
traveler
hold up,
comes of age in a world
I
without
didn't say
words.
that.
The Wild West, a wanderer with a bounty on his head fights for his life. Imperial
Only
China,
because like this one just
country's
when I
master
saw it,
searches
it's
for a
really.
worthy successor.
I've heard about it
Twilight of
before, but I
Edo
never
Japan.
saw anything
A
on it.
shinobi undertakes
And
an
then
important
until now,
secret
I'm just
mission.
like, oh, so this is what this
Present
is?
day,
I mean,
a
wait,
martial
is this like an
artist
old
strives
school
to
like
become the
game?
strongest there ever was.
And they're bringing it back,
The
and I
near
was like, yo,
future, a
this
youth with
has
psychic
really
powers
the
takes a stand
characters and the
against
stories
evil.
that they just
The
have in this
distant
game has
future,
really
a
just caught
newly
me.
built robot is
I'm like, I
swept
gotta
up
always check
in
it
a
out.
tragedy in
I will
space.
say this to
What
y'all.
other stories
I'm
are on the
gonna be very
horizon?
real. I'm a little disappointed with Square Enix because what if they come up with
Live
new
Alive
recently?
launches on Nintendo Switch
Okay,
July
Triangle
22nd.
Strategy, that's good.
Pre-orders begin today
And
on
we haven't
Nintendo
got it yet.
eShop.
Octopath Traveler, that's good. But like that boom game, like what is it? It ain't been Final Fantasy because the Final Fantasies have taken a dip. That's why they milk it. They've been milking Final Fantasy VII, which is my second favorite game of all time, so much. It's powdery. It's powder. It ain't even no milk coming out no more. It's just powder. That's just how it is. It is more to come.
I'm gonna give me a drink.
They just
Go
milk
ahead,
it.
go ahead.
They're
No,
milking
yeah,
it.
I hear.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been finishing up Octopath. It's decent. I have issues with it. I get why people made it so popular, but there are problems that I'm finding with it where I feel like it could be using my time better.
One is to me the story. The lack thereof.
The story that basically is 8 characters that have no reason to be together, and there is no story.
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
That's it. That's the main thing. And I put 200 in.
There's some stories I do
200 hours?
like.
I'm at like 95 right now.
You can do extra stuff. Like I wish Nintendo had like the trophies too, because I wanted to see, my accomplishments, because I did all the extra little stuff and all the goodies.
Yeah, there's some stories in the game I do like.
I like the characters for sure.
But yeah, you're right. Like
more. You'd be like, I want more.
Yeah, like why is the noble knight guy with a thief?
Yeah, like it's weird how
they should not be traveling.
Yeah,
like some reason.
Yeah, it's pretty much like you meet this character and it's, let me tell you my backstory.
Yeah.
And like the backstory would be like an hour long, and then you get to the point where their backstory is about to end, and that's where you run into them. And it's like, so I coincidentally happened to run into you as you jumped out this window.
Yeah.
And you would tell me your backstory. It's like that. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess
I'm missing that. Yeah. It's like, I'm missing that.
And I put a lot of time and I love the aesthetic. I love that they took a new feel. It's just that they needed more story, like or story. Like you just said, it's story. It needed something. And I went to I was lucky enough to go to the Octopath. That's where I met Andre the Black Nerd there. It was when the game launched. I was lucky enough to go there to see it. And they had a whole big event downtown out here. They had like a little museum. It's like I forgot what it's called. It's like a gaming bar and grill place or something. And they had all Ophelia and everything on the wall, and you got a chance to see like the concept art in frames, and then they had all the stuff where you like almost like an old arcade, and you're able to play it. So I got a chance to play with Therian and everything way beforehand, and I did love the whole thing. But my thing is, and this is what I'm having the problem with, Ryan. Now I'm addressing you directly because it's one of your favorite games. I'm really enjoying. I'm approaching 200 hours on Final Fantasy 12. I was playing it before stream and jumped off and then all this other good stuff. I'm really enjoying the game, but the problem that we were talking about with Octopath, that's what I'm having with Final Fantasy 12 a little bit. I'm like, for me, the characters are just there. I get that. Do I really have to go with them? One main thing, for a game that's predicated on airships, how come I can't use an airship? As big as this world is,
so there are design choices where I agree. They're keeping you leveling your characters, but there's not a good reason why you can't.
Absolutely no reason
that way. But like, no, I would say the story could have been told more efficiently, and I don't know. I felt like there was a reason for those people to come together. Like I feel like it was trying for a more mature type of storytelling. And so like I felt like they belonged to, the only one I have a problem with being there is Vaughn. Just because like
everybody
he didn't have a proper character. You could just throw his character into Pinello and call it a day, and that would be fine.
But then that would also make them have to make a female the lead protagonist, and that's
they weren't ready to do that.
No. Yeah, that's not something that happens.
Because really, that's Ash's story.
That's Ash's story. That's from the beginning to the end. It should. What I would like to see. I'm gonna tell you where I'm at. So I'm doing the rare hunts now. I already left Arcades. And I gotta go hunt for some, but that's my thing. He's like, it has that old, and I see why people love it. I see why it's like on the top 5 of Final Fantasies.
Yeah, it's fun to play.
It's got that old, it is. The gameplay is what makes me keep playing. The gameplay and the battle system. But I would love to see some character interaction. Like Ash, you got the short skirt on. That's all I really know about you. Like, I know you got that thirst for the power. I get it. I want to see like Tails does that great, where I did throw the short skirt. And this is the game of thighs and ass. Like literally, this is the game of thighs and ass. I can't even look at Final Fantasy 12 after going for platinum. Hey man, that's what I'm trying to go for. I had to do all the rare hunts. That's what I'm on. I'm doing. I'm after the Zodiac Spear right now. I'm doing all the stuff on phone.
Oh, that's right. You can do that. I heard about that.
So I'm about to go into Hind Mind.
Like I did on Switch, so the platinum, I just got all the achievements in the game.
Okay.
We got 2 more videos. Let me know when you guys are ready.
Go for it, bro. I'm
Yeah,
ready
good.
because I'm just
good.
I'll ramble about. I'll come back to Final Fantasy. It always comes back to Final Fantasy.
How was that? Next up is this. It's a new iteration.
I think this
of
was
the
really
Wii
hype
Sports
for me.
series.
This is a good
Nintendo Switch
decision.
Sports. Please take a look.
I won't get it personally, but like,
Here are
one,
the sports
people
included in
wanted
the
this,
Nintendo
and
Switch
two,
sports game. You might
this
recognize
will
these three
reach
from
like
past
that
Wii
sort
sports games.
With that bowling.
The fitness game. that we were
Rally
talking
by
about
gently
earlier.
swinging the Joy-Con controller at the right time.
Ring Fit
With
Adventure.
this, like, there's
This
not-
will get people like that
Roll
to
the
buy
ball
it.
straight ahead
Yes.
or give it a little curve.
But like, I think with this though, like, you're not moving. There's not much.
Knock your opponent off the
It
platform.
ain't as
while
like if you
attacking
played the
defense.
one for the Wii.
Plus 3 additional
If you
Yeah,
played
like
the
a
one for
motion
the
control
Wii,
will definitely be better.
yeah, like you played one for the Wii. There wasn't
Use a
much
gigantic ball to make dynamic
movement
plays.
to it too much. There was a lot. I mean, there
Enjoy
was, but
matches
not
with
so much
Joy-Con
like make a
controllers,
sweat like you do
shoot
in
and
like
perform
Wii Fit.
diving headers.
But I do see where you're going now. I do
By
see where you're
attaching
going.
a Joy-Con controller to
Yeah.
the leg strap accessory included with
Yeah, I
the
think
physical
this
version
will.
of the
I think this
game,
is a good.
you can play shootout mode with intuitive
Or you know
kicking.
what? It'll be a cheaper version, cheaper option
Badminton.
than doing Wii Fit.
Control your shots left
Yeah,
and right
this-
while
this
keeping
will
the
be cheaper
shuttlecock
option.
in the air.
I'm interested to see how
Unleash
much they sell
powerful
this for.
smash shots to gain the upper hand.
I
I don't know about
Definitely
that,
should be
Nick.
less than rings yet,
Finally,
because like
volleyball.
that's
Use a
$100
Joy-Con
here
controller
plus
to
that.
serve
Oh, this it's like
Bump.
85 here. So I think
Set.
this would be the cheaper option
and
regardless.
spike the
It's
ball.
just
Yeah,
$40, I
even
think.
if it's a game, it's still cheaper than rings yet.
Yeah.
$49.99.
More than that.
The game supports local play with
I'll definitely
family
get
and
it,
friends
'cause I
on
enjoy
one
playing it
Nintendo
for the
Switch
Wii and
system,
for the Wii U.
as well as online play across all sports. Play against friends online.
I want that golf.
Opt for random
They
matches.
bring up.
The more you win,
Yeah, it's nice that they're like rolling out the other sports as
try taking on
like,
this
DLC.
challenge.
I know people get annoyed that like why doesn't the game come as
How
it,
was that?
like just finished
Since I'm
and
already
stuff,
here,
but
I'd like to show you some
if you're
gameplay
adding
of
stuff for
some
free,
newly
I don't
added
have a problem with
sports.
that.
Volleyball.
Mr. Takahashi! Hello there, everyone. I'm Yoshiaki Koizumi from Nintendo.
Wow.
Is there a fast forward button on
I
here?
can see you ready to play. All right, I'll play some volleyball online together with Mr. Koizumi. Do you have your wrist strap ready?
Yes, of course. I've got plenty
You
of
can't
time
skip
around
ahead
as
and
well.
once the video plays, right?
They gotta be an option.
All right,
I gotta figure that out.
We'll be
Yeah,
including some live
yeah, because
commentary.
this was fine for the presentation, but like in post, there's no
We're doing
reason.
Volleyball, a newly added sport in Nintendo Switch Sports. What can we expect today from the Takahashi Koizumi team? It's Koizumi to serve with Takahashi up front. We begin with Koizumi serving.
For some reason, when we watched this live, I guess I wasn't paying proper attention, but I thought they were on
Takahashi makes the block. Another one's coming.
Doesn't
Koizumi
matter.
saves it. Set up in the air. And here comes the spike. The other team saves it and fights back. And they score. Takahashi didn't quite get it in time. All right, well, it's okay. It's okay. The game's not over. Now the other team serves. Koizumi receives it. Takahashi sets it up. Koizumi spikes. It goes right toward the opponent. Here's another attack.
I'm
Another
interested
chance.
to know if
Hit
like
the ball.
you could
Set
actually
from
move your
Koizumi.
characters around and
Takahashi
do that.
scores. They
Oh
get
yeah,
it
is
with
any
that fierce
joystick
spike.
control? Yeah, that's a good question because Wii Sports never
Let's
really
stop
had
our
it.
Yeah,
match here.
they didn't have. You couldn't
After all, we
control
were
them
in
much.
the
They
middle of
moved
the
on their own. All you did was
All right,
swing
I'll be leaving
the
now.
Joy-Con.
Yeah,
the
you
Wii
did.
remote.
You did the activity basically.
Yeah, so I'm hoping
That was
that
an
they actually
introduction
fix
to
that and
Nintendo
say, hey, you can
Switch
actually
Sports.
move your character, especially for volleyball. Like, there's no way you can
The
just let
game
the
launches
characters do that
April
movement by
29th.
themselves.
These
Yeah,
games
I
are nice.
don't know.
Free
nice
update in
spread
this
out.
game
know
allows you
what
to
I
play
think I'll do
soccer
for that.
matches with a Joy-Con controller and the leg strap accessory. You can use the accessory to play shootout mode at launch. In addition, we're also planning a second free update this fall that
Yeah,
lets you
man,
enjoy
this one I want.
golf. And now, a request to everyone. To help ensure that you can all enjoy playing online, we'll be having an online playtest before the game launches to evaluate various technical aspects.
I do like that they're giving us a playtest.
I wish they would do that more, like a playtest or demos or whatever.
The online playtest will
even
only
if
be
it's something
available
like
for players with an active Nintendo Switch Online membership on the
one,
dates
you
shown
get a
on
chance to
screen.
try it for free.
For those of you interested,
and
please visit
two,
the official Nintendo
just
website
because
for
like
more
I like
details.
something, for example, doesn't mean that everyone.
Thank
like
you.
the Metroid demo is a great idea because there's a lot of people that don't have enough exposure to that.
That's all I have for now about Nintendo Switch Sports.
And
I hope you're looking
now they
forward
can
to
try
this
it
game.
and see if they
Let's
like
see a
it.
few more Nintendo Switch heavyweights.
Get those taiko drumming skills ready.
Whoa.
The latest Taiko no Tatsujin game is coming to the Nintendo Switch system. Set in
Sounds
Omika
just
City,
extra
sacred
spiked
town for
up
taiko
and
drums. You'll strive to become
Does anyone
taiko
know
master,
this friend? Like
along
apparently
with
this is a
brand
friend.
new character.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
I know of it. I just
Dozens of
never messed
bopping
around with
beats,
it.
including
I don't
Didn't come out here
Megalovania,
until they
Grenade,
actually brought a game
Feel
over. I think,
Special,
from
Yeah, I'm not
Racing
that.
into the night. And
Rhythm
It
games
actually
are
looks
not for
pretty
me.
cool. I'm not
an
gonna lie.
orchestral version
I
of the main
did
theme
not know
from
what
The
this
Legend of
was
Zelda is included.
until I got
That's
jumped through this
76
particular
songs total.
stage.
Plus, take
Yeah, like
advantage
they
of a
didn't.
practice
It
mode to
wasn't. I
replay
don't think it
sections
was
of songs
released
as
out here
many
at all
times as
until
you
they
like.
released that first
New
game for the
modes have
Switch.
also been added for everyone to
Okay.
enjoy. Put on a live
But I
concert
think it's.
with
I
up to
think it's
4
an
players
arcade
in
mode. In,
Don Champ
arcade in
Band.
Japan. Arcade thing in
Or
Japan. I
face
think.
off against each other in
But
I
it's
feel like
actually
this would be
console
more
stuff,
fun
too.
to play in an arcade. Like I wouldn't buy this, but I would throw a few.
Drum to your heart's content. When Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm
It
Festival
does have a
is
following out here,
Nintendo
though.
Switch this year.
It does have a following out here,
A
though.
paid in-game subscription
Okay.
service
Well, I
and
mean, yeah,
access
why would
to
they bring
over
it every day?
500 songs will be available at launch.
That I don't know about a paid subscription for a game if you're already paying for.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't catch that before.
What's
That's-
new with
why-
these
yeah.
Nintendo
That's
Switch
weird.
games?
I don't understand that.
The
You know what,
brand new
uh,
tactical RPG
Yep,
game
looking forward to
Cardinal
this.
Strategy is almost
Is
here.
apparently doing
The
a
protagonist
paid
Sarah
subscription,
Noah and his allies
or
will
like
be
a
engulfed in
season
the
pass type
conflict
thing.
among three
Like they
nations.
announced
Your
Cloud as a
choices
racer,
and conviction will
after
determine
the
their
direct.
fate.
But they're like, oh, he's part of
Lord,
season
I
pass or
solemnly
whatever.
swear
I'm
an
like,
oath by which all
I'm
future lords shall be bound. I will never turn my back from the promise of a better world.
A new
I
demo
don't know,
for
it feels-
the
it
Chapter
feels
3
like
will
it's
be
not
available on
bad.
Nintendo
Yeah.
eShop later today.
I gotta
Save
get
data
this
from the
demo
can
again
be
so we can
transferred
actually
to the
play
full
through it and
game
have
once
the
purchased.
full game.
Yeah. See what they've.
More Cuphead action awaits in the paid
Because I still
DLC.
have the other
Cuphead,
one.
the
I
delicious
re-downloaded
last
it, but then
course.
I'm like, you know what? Let me
Here,
just
we'll
download that
explore
one
a
so I can
brand new
put my
Inkwell
progression
Island.
over.
Defeat a bevy of new bosses with wild
I see the
personalities
hype
and
for
even
this game.
wilder
I'm just not into it like that.
The clever
Yeah.
No,
Miss
I
Chalice is a
can't
new
do these.
playable
I'm not good
character.
at these.
Take
Too
down
much
I always
fearsome
wanted
foes
to,
with
but
their
you know
double
what?
jumps,
Like
rolling dodges,
Ryan
and
was saying
more.
earlier, a lot of times you gotta
Cuphead, the
decide. Like,
delicious last
do I
course,
want to buy
walks
this
its way
or
onto Nintendo
is
Switch
this money
June
going
30th.
somewhere else?
Yeah.
Yeah,
fuck,
like,
Free
I don't see a
update is
reason.
coming to
This
the
is
Metroid
cool.
Dread
Like
game.
the
Yeah.
fact that we're getting still getting
All it
support for this is
takes
actually
one hit.
kind of crazy.
Even
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah, I'm not doing that hardcore. I had trouble.
No,
doing,
Yeah,
One
me
hit
neither.
even once
No.
causes a
I had trouble
game
doing
over.
normal.
The brutal Dread mode
The,
difficulty.
I had trouble doing normal, so I'm
Can
not
you
doing
face
dread.
this new challenge?
easy mode,
And for players
What's the
who use
easy mode
Metroid
option? I mean, what do you
take
get?
advantage of increased
It's
Is it like a
recovery.
rookie
You
mode
get,
or something?
rookie
So
mode.
like
You get more health back.
Yeah.
You get more health back.
This
So,
free
So like
update
technically, like
launches
you will get like
later
a
today.
full stock back.
Yeah.
A
I
second
have a
free
friend
update in April will
here,
add a boss rush mode in which you'll
Passionate
battle bosses
that I go for
continuously,
dinner with regularly.
one at a
Like he
time.
loved playing.
I played the game already, I'm good.
Enough of the
I want some
upgrades, he
time.
didn't 100% it, so like he couldn't do the final boss, and so something
Really?
like that, like he might actually finish the game now because that exists.
It's
So
that
got
final
one more
boss.
bit,
You
though.
definitely need to. You definitely need to learn the patterns of that final. Like when I live streamed.
Yeah.
I live streamed that entire game, and that last boss. It took me a minute, but you definitely have to learn the patterns and know when you can do things at certain points of that fight. Because there's times
That-
where I'm like, and then like the countering. That countering is key. You have
Yeah.
to. If you don't counter, you're not gonna get to that next phase
No.
of that boss fight.
yeah, the countering you have to know the you got to know the timing. Or what I did, I didn't cheese it because it's a hard fight, but like I figured out when were the good times to use the power power bombs and basically
Same.
just like tried to only
I
take
understand what
damage
I'm
from
saying.
certain things that weren't so bad, but like I got everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
And so I could absorb some of the damage and like not be as good at the fight as I probably should have been.
I think
But
what I
yeah,
do,
that
I just learned what he did, and then I just learned what I can do when he does that. The
Yeah.
first phase is once you learn the first phase, it's like easy. You're like, okay, this first phase is nothing. His
Yeah.
second phase is like it's kind of killer. Once you learn it, you're fine. The third phase got me a little bit because it was a little bit of the second phase, a little bit of the first phase in it, and once you it's like I think games like that where it's just like you have to learn patterns, and I don't mind games like that. They're frustrating as ever, but once you like get past it, it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
I think the one game I'll never really have that satisfaction is Mega Man 11. That game is just way too hard for its own good. Mega Man 11 is way too hard for its own good. I couldn't even get past the first level. I didn't even get to boss fight, and I couldn't get past the first level of the game. So I was like, I don't have the patience for that. But yeah, I'm glad that Dread is still getting support. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I will try. I already played it. I beat it. I enjoyed it. I just feel like I did get mad several times. You know, was redoing bosses over and over and over again. I'm just gonna be patient with Metroid Prime 4 whenever it decides to come out. I think if they weren't gonna do it, they would have told us by now that they dropped it. But I think they want to blow our minds away in E3. So I'm gonna give it that. But I think I'm done with Dread. You know, just my son and I beat it. We enjoyed it. I'm just gonna wait for the other one. But that's it for me on that part.
Yeah,
I went for Triangle Strategy. Looks
another demo was good. I wasn't sold, although I do prefer standard JRPGs over not real time strategy, the grid based strategy type games. So it might just not be for me, but like I appreciate getting another demo and see if maybe they've adjusted enough things. We're like, yeah, okay, this
you change your mind. Yeah, I'm used to games like that because there's one game that I absolutely love. It's called Super Robot Wars. And anything that has like mechs in it, I'm like automatically going to be playing because I love that stuff. And it's grid based. It's grid based just like that. It's a strategy JRPG. So I'm used to playing games like that. I was able to easily adapt to when they did Mario plus Rabbids. It was like kind of the same thing, but with more of like XCOM kind of thing.
Here's a couple.
But yeah, I got used to that pretty fairly
This is one
well,
of the
and
best ones.
then seeing this was like real cool. Seeing
Atlas.
that. I've heard of that. I've never looked at
Stella
anything on that
Deus
game.
is actually one of the better games.
I've never
Stella
looked at
Deus
anything
is
on
actually
that
one of the better ones. It's a great game, and it's a strategy, but you can just by the art, and it's an amazing game. PlayStation 2. And what I liked about it too, and you have the characters where you know how Final Fantasy Tactics were for those of you who play Tactics, or even Fire Emblem does that, where certain characters are the ones you get, like the main ones that'll keep coming back, but you can keep on recruiting other characters. I love the dual covers too when they have that.
Oh, you know what it reminds me of a little bit? Just like with the combat, I'm looking at it now. The combat reminds me of
it's a great game.
Breath of Fire.
It's the animation style is like Breath of Fire, but the gameplay is strategy and what you can do. It's kind of like it's almost more like Disgaea. I don't have Disgaea 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I played those.
I
I haven't played the new one, but I played all the other ones before that.
So you can jump and you can tag team people on this, and then you have it. But what makes it different from a lot of the games, the characters talk to each other. Like I'm a big fan on character interaction. If you're playing for 100 hours, your characters should not just stand there and look pretty. I want to see you do something with your sword idly, or even if I would rather you talk too much than not talk at all. Like that's just me personally. Just sitting there and it's doing nothing for for I don't know how much in the game. It just bothers me.
That's fair.
Natural Doctrine is actually a really good one too. I've never this one yet.
I've heard of that too. I've never checked that one out either.
This is also one of those strategy-based games. It's story-based. It's events in the beginning of the game that happen where if it wasn't the type of game it was, it would have been more talked about. That's the kind of game it is. And I'm one of these diehard people like that. I went back, restarted the entire game, grinded for hours, probably 30, 40, 50 hours, literally, to try to prevent something to happen, and it still happened. It was meant. It didn't matter what you do. That's part of the story. It's like kind of like after Aerith dies, you're like, okay, well, you emotionally feel it like you're putting it up. What are you gonna do? Like, what's now? But the reason why I brought those three, especially, is because everybody knows Disgaea. But the reason why I brought those three is those are good suggestions for because they do really well within the story. Even I would say even more so, especially like the Stella Deus, more so than Final Fantasy Tactics. And Tactics is good, but a lot of people don't like medieval games or the rehearsal of medieval games over and over. Like I actually like the story of Tactics Advance more because it was a little more modern, and then it also was in Evalant as well. So Evilise, thank you. But yeah, I liked that one more. But they actually both were in Evilise. Actually, my bad. They both were. They debuted in '97.
You guys ready for the final clip, and then we'll have finish our after the last one. We'll finish off the video by our final statements of what we think of that final clip. You guys ready to get to that? Okay.
Yep, I'm good.
This one is the clip. The last part I didn't expect, but it was great.
No.
Something's bound for Nintendo Switch.
Oh, can't wait! I already downloaded them immediately. Check them out.
I'm update for this.
I'm gonna be playing both.
This is a good guess.
Earthbound is also on my top 10. Earthbound's a great game. Another one of the silent protagonists, though, but what can you do?
A lot of the Super Nintendo ones were silent protagonists.
I used to want Pooh. I wanted everybody in Smash Brothers. So let me just not say that. But I thought I had a reason because Ness. I still think a Komataro would have been better than Lucas personally. But again, she's a woman, so Japan. But I would like to see Mother 3. So now we have a chance to see Mother 3 sooner.
Yeah. Maybe.
Now that we have
see.
these two. Yeah, you're right. Because we'll be waiting since 06.
Yeah, was it? Yeah. It's been a while.
It's almost 20 years and no localization. They'll bring it out in this 2020 when we get Mario Kart 9 on the next Switch.
Earthbound and Earthbound Begins will be added to Nintendo Switch Online.
I gotta beat a few games first, and I'm gonna get to those two.
Yeah, there's always so much to get to.
I need to catch up on Demon Slayer, the anime, because I've been seeing people spoil it on Twitter.
Dude.
And I've seen blood, I've seen dead bodies, and I don't want to know. I'm not talking about Juco Chips. I don't want to know. I don't want to know, but I gotta watch it.
Yeah, that last episode, and they said the last episode that's coming on Sunday is gonna be 45 minutes long.
Is it how many episodes is it? 7 or 8?
No, I think there's like 11.
Oh,
there's like 11. I'm gonna check real quick, but yeah, they said this last episode is gonna be 45 minutes long.
That's cool. Then I just knock them all out.
Yeah,
I'm been tripping hard on this Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan, dude. Last Sunday was insane. That messed me up. That got me. Attack
I
on
have a
Titan
theory.
last
I have a
season,
theory about that. I have to tell you on a later time. I have a theory about that when it comes to ALP.
What did you think? Here's some news from Mario Kart fans. Many of you
Oh,
have
what?
been enjoying the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe
Oh my god,
in
that's so
2017.
fucked up.
So, we've been working on remastering select courses from across the Mario
We're
Kart
watching
series.
through this. I was like, when I said the price, I'm like, okay,
that's
I'll
a
pay
thing.
for that. That's
These
been
are
worthwhile.
this
And
trailer.
then they're
Okay.
like, oh, it's free for expansion pass.
This was
Even better.
phenomenal. Yes.
Yeah,
That
it
looks
looks
good.
good. I would have paid for this. Like,
It does, I
just wanted
The stages look wider.
I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see a double dash mode, but I'm not gonna
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for too.
Paid DLC
I mean, this is
courses
good
will be
too.
coming to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
It's just, like I'm just nitpicking, but it just feels like
This is the
we
Mario
should have had a
Kart 8
booster
Deluxe
course.
Booster Course Pass.
At least 3
You
years
may
ago. At
recognize
least
some
3.
courses
That's fair.
from past Mario
At least
Kart games.
fair.
But you know,
That's the
they're
only
making
thing I
money
can-
off this, so
8 courses
Yeah,
will be released at its
like when I said I thought it
Wait,
slowed, I didn't mean
That's
like I
48
don't think
additional
the
courses they
sales
plan on
slowed
releasing
down
by
where
the
they're
end
gonna
of
like consider
2023.
making a new one or like
Courses such
significantly.
as
Yeah, baby.
But like
Oh,
enough where they're like, oh, I
Choco
bet we
Nut.
could get more money out of it because we just do something like that.
Highest
Tokyo
selling
Blur
with-
will be included in the first wave.
We keep buying it. Same thing with
Of course, you
GTA
can
5
play
is
these
still
courses
what the top
locally
5
and
highest selling
online.
games in the lot. What 13? And I just bought it. That's why I said I'm part of the problem. I just bought GTA 5 because it was $20 on sale like a year ago.
The first wave of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass will launch
And then it went back up to
March
59.99.
Pre-orders
I'm about to
begin
see, can you believe it?
today
Yeah, you can
on
believe it.
Nintendo eShop. You can enjoy this DLC at no additional
And that's
cost
per
with
8
the
stages,
Nintendo
right?
Switch Online
yeah.
Plus extended
Okay, I'll just make
membership.
like the
Or purchase
$24.99
the Mario
is for
Kart 8
everything,
Deluxe Booster Course
but
Pass
we're getting
on
8
its own.
stages. Like,
Oh, it's
per
for
wave
all
is
of them,
8
or is it?
stages.
It's for
It's for
all
all of them.
48?
Yeah, it's for all of them.
Yeah, the prices
It's-
that they showed there is for all of
like,
them.
Okay, I thought it was
in Mario
for
Kart 8
for
Deluxe.
each 8, which is
This
No,
next
no, no.
segment
Oh, that's not
will be
very
announced.
nice.
I'm gonna tell you like
take a
this.
look.
I still would have. I'm so thirsty. I still would have bought it.
I'm sure. I would have too.
Here goes, guys.
Now this one, I
Here we
want to talk
go.
about this after, because I had so many speculations
Fighting
on
in
this.
order to live
This is the game that Ryan doesn't want to play.
and living to fight.
Yeah. Ryan's love.
That's the way of our world.
That looks so good.
Yeah.
Ionios.
Tell me, what would possess you to side with them?
Nia, I mean,
There are enemies to kill.
You
looks
to
just like
believe
Nia.
you're him.
Sounds just like Nia.
On it though.
saw
That's
this
what I
coming.
thought. First I thought that was Rex because it looked like he had the. But I
It
was like,
looks
no,
like
is
they
that
had a
the?
baby.
I'm just yeah.
You could try
That's what
to
he
move forward together. They're not your friends anymore. They're his.
And it looked like, is that a brother? Is that a brother?
Dude, that's what I was gonna say
He
too.
got
That's
that tan skin.
what I was gonna say too.
He ain't got a pug nose, but he got the tan.
It's the only way you're gonna defeat the real enemy.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you show
They actually got in the water? They showed their swimming?
Yeah, that looks good.
never replace the friendship drop. The flame
Diving.
it has to go.
Ouroboros abhor this world. They must be erased without a trace.
I like how they're merging all of them.
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw on Twitter, it's a whole new world in the universe, like a whole new universe.
But they say it's like
it's
time
pulling stuff
after the
clearly
first
from the
two.
first two.
After the first two games, it's like time after the first two. I think.
Because like those girls look like Hyantia, and you got the girl that looks like Nia.
Yeah,
and there's a heavy follow up thematically to the first one. Like there's like a mechanical world or a mechanical titan and like a
September, not too bad.
EP one.
Yeah,
The story
I
of
have a theory
Xenoblade
about
Chronicles 3
the
ties together
Xenoblade
the
1 and
futures
2.
of
I have a
worlds
theory.
depicted in Xenoblade Chronicles and
I'll say it
Xenoblade
after this
Chronicles
video.
2, and it will launch this September. I hope you look forward to it. That's all for today's Nintendo Direct.
So I have a theory, and this is for people who have beaten Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah,
Now, if you remember,
I've beaten it. If there's anything like Tornay, you can't really spoil if you played two. So like I'm good with.
I was gonna say, like you mentioned, you haven't played Torna.
Not yet.
There's
I
no
haven't
need
played it
to.
either.
There's
Yeah, I
no
haven't
need to rush to play that. Like there's no need to rush.
Gameplay wise, I thought it looked really good, and I hope that they are taking some of that stuff.
Like
to the new, like the way it plays, basically. I hope they'll bring some forward stuff.
So just to give a little bit of the game, the gameplay is how can I explain it? The gameplay is before everyone realizes that they can use their blade's weapon, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I got like what the idea was from
sense.
watching the trailers and that. Like it looked, Not I know they're not probably going to do blades again. I mean, maybe they will, but like just the way that they kind of took the oversimplified combat system of 2 and gave it a little bit more of like 1 and X's kind of more complicated, but without like bringing it back to you toggle through with the D-pad.
Yeah, that was kind of
that way of doing the art palette is annoying. It's fun to play the game, but like you have to like I don't know. It feels like not ideal.
You're watching the battle. I hate when I feel like I'm watching the battle more than I'm actually looking at the battle going on the screen, where I have to check my controls and check the check on the side.
Yeah. But I have a theory. This is if you guys can agree with me or not.
Okay.
So they did say that with the third one, I overheard that this was like some time in the future of 1 and 2, right? So if you remember at the end of 2, they showed that that they were like these humans and they were like in this little laboratory and everything like that, and their character models resembled a lot of the character models that were in Xenoblade 1 of the first game.
And I know the scene you're talking about.
And it kind of put me out of something where like, okay, well, when is this scene happening? Like what's going on here? And I didn't really think of it too. I haven't gone through it, but I have like this weird theory that maybe the Xenoblade 2 was kind of like the starting point, because if you remember the blades, some blades turn into like if they're like
Titans.
They turn into
and
Titans.
then the Titan dies and it makes more cores or something.
Yeah. So and in the story of 1, when they had those entities, man, I wish I can really recall it. Yeah. When like
the big dragon looking things, dinosaurs.
Yeah, I want to say that or no, not those, like when you have Mechonis and
Bionis?
Yeah, Bionis. Couldn't you say that they were cores that turned into Titans, and then that ended up creating the world that they were in, and they've created that weird like dynamic that hey, the Mechanises are the ones who are evil, and the other side were just like these innocent bystanders, but in actuality it was just kind of like weirdly flip.
I mean, that's interesting. Like, so, I mean, to the best of my understanding, the scene that we see, that's this, let's just say for right now, like, before I go into any of this, and I'll keep it quick, but these are all heavy spoilers if you haven't played 2 or 1. The scene that you see in both at the end, that is essentially... So it's this, you see the same scene in 1 and 2. And there's this kind of like ring from a space station and like energy goes around it. That's essentially the creation of the universe as it is in the game. But the thing is, it creates like a multiverse. So like 1 is its own universe. 2 is its own universe. They have they have that kind of realm in 2 where you get crossover characters and they sort of explain that like there's somehow they're crossing universes. And then 1 sort of hints at, or they kind of make you think that maybe you see how a Telethia ends up in X. Or maybe it's not clear enough, but like maybe they explain that. I think that's what Future Connect is supposed to be like trying to
I still haven't finished
is attach them together, like attach X in with the other two.
I need that.
But like in terms of the Titans, so at the end you see all the Titans form a new land, and they've essentially with the architect like not reset the world, but like set the world on a new course where things aren't going to work the same as how they worked before. At least that was my understanding of it. And certainly like all the Titans are coming together into a landmass, and they're like forming with a new landmass that doesn't exist in the game, because essentially everyone's like, oh, the problem is solved, and the problem the whole game is Titans die, therefore we're running out of land to live on. What are we going to do? And they're all fighting over land, and that solves the problem. So I mean, yeah, you could have it could work the same, but they never show anything to do with blades or anything in 1, and that's supposed to be like an entirely different world, and their Titans are essentially supposed to be like their gods,
right?
Who then also have like a smaller physical form, but yeah. So I don't know if like there's supposed to be some clear similarities, and that's why we're seeing. Like they're trying to make it clear, like going forward, these are all in the same universe. It's just the same multiverse. It's just how is it going to be connected? Other than like with the Monado, I don't know. There's some interesting things to that theory, though.
And one thing, this is for everyone who is fans of the Xenoblade series or Xenoblade Chronicle series. How do you think that they're going to stick with that? Like I agree with Ryan. I wasn't a big fan of the first how they did it. They tried to fix it in a certain way, but not change it too much. But still, it's just like, okay, I still gotta quickly go over here to do a stagger, then go over here to do a knockdown, then go over here to do this. And then go into middle, use my Monado power to do one of the things. It was just a lot of menuing in battle, which is like kind of tedious, and it destroys a lot of your timing and strategy there.
What you call it? He couldn't. Just to interject real quick, beat 'em ups. He said he couldn't stand it at first. I don't know if you guys seen that video, but he explained exactly how you said it. Yeah,
because you gotta like you gotta stop attacking to move into, which
and then you got the umbilical cord that's right there, that's always there.
I think with that, like I got he said umbilical cord.
That's what it was.
I got used to that in 2. Like after it was like a certain point where you can do something where you can kind of stagger away a little bit longer in 2, that made it easier.
Get used to the timing, but like you should be able to keep attacking as you're moving. That I think was a poor design decision.
Do you think that in 3, do you think they're going to give us like a hybrid where it's like the more of the action RPG type, but still trying to keep that same flow of combat like they've had for the other 2 games?
Yeah, with like strategy too. I hope so.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wanting out of it. I'm sure like I enjoyed playing both despite any kind of annoyances with the way the combat systems were. So I'm sure I will like it, but that is what I'm hoping for. Yeah, like they simplify what your strategic attacks are. You're constantly attacking once you're in battle. Moving doesn't screw that up. I don't know. Remains to be seen. And like the other thing is like I hope they're gonna bring back. They've had the guy that voices Shulk. Again, spoilers. That character who does the experiment is voiced by the same voice actor, as is the architect, and as is Zanza in Xenoblade Chronicles 1. So they have him in all of it, and he did like a you could choose your character's voice in X. So he did a voice for your character.
That's right. He did do that, didn't he?
In X. Yeah. So are they going to bring Adam Howden? I think is his name. Are they going to bring Adam Howden back? Are they going to have another like, this guy is God for the world, and he's going to do that voice? And I'm kind of hoping too, like they set up in 2 that there were those 3 core elements of like Pyra and Mithra, or Numa is one of them, and then Malice is another one, and then there was a 3rd one, and they never said who that was.
They didn't. I think they go into that in Torna. I haven't finished it. Let me just say about Torna. There's one thing I don't like about Torna is that they halt your story progression in these, and it's the most stupidest thing that they've done. Is there? I'm not gonna spoil too much, but just to let you know that there's a system in Torna.
Sorry about
that halts your progression, and you have to. I'm gonna call it a filler. So you have to go through that filler before you can continue your progression. And for me, I think that's what made me stop playing it because of that. Because you'll be so into the story, be so into it and doing all that stuff, and then they say, "Oh, you gotta stop because you gotta do this first." And it's just like, really, I gotta stop progressing through the story, which I'm really into, just to do these chores before I can do. That's
annoying. It was like side quest stuff.
One thing,
and
it's like I don't want to spoil it too. Like I want you to experience it for yourself so you can see it. But yeah, that's the one thing I didn't like about that, is that they stop your progression of the story so you can do this, and then it's like, okay, there you go, you can go finish.
I hope they don't do stuff like that, and
I hope they don't do it either. In the next one.
I hope they bring back like some of the other voice acting. Like I was saying, there's those 3. Whether or not they establish who the 3rd one is, I'd like to see them potentially use like Sky Bennett's voice again for another character. If Pyra and Mithra were essential to something, I mean, I guess like they're just essential to what made the world of 2. But you could also like have that be something that was from that original experiment that you see in both games, and it's just taken another form in another world. Like they can keep building off of that one scene, I guess. I don't know. Plus, I'd just like to see. I thought she was good as Pyra, so I'd like to see her.
Yes,
I think so too. I thought she was
heading towards the last 10 minutes. Let's close out. But we'll finish. We got 10 minutes.
Sure. No, like I have a probability of who the 3rd Aegis, but I'm not going to tell it here because it's going to take too long. We'll talk about it after the stream's over.
Well, let me say, I will say this. I don't know what I'll do in 10 minutes. I'm sorry, Chronos. We over the hour. We 2 hours.
No, it's fine because today, see, when I want to do shorter streams, that's when it's like on a Friday, an official day. That's when I actually got my kid with me and things like that. Today's like pretty much more open.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, today was
it's one of those regular days.
All right, well, let me get my few minutes. I don't think anybody here is going to agree with me with this, and that's okay. That's what makes us human. My thing is, I really enjoy. I put in probably collective close to 500-600 hours on both, or maybe more, because of I've played 200 and something hours both times on Xenoblade Chronicles, and it's actually one of my favorite Switch and Wii games. I actually like the last story more than I like Xenoblade, and the reason why is because the characters and the story, for me, Zell was more relatable. I don't know if you guys have played the last story.
I'd like to report that.
The last story is really great, and the character, even though he was very similar to Shulk within the Luke Skywalker, wide eyes coming into the world, he developed better. And also, one thing, he's a grown ass man. Rex is a kid.
Rex is a kid.
Rex is a child. And Shulk, he was hollow. And so he was still kind of like, at first, initially, I liked this character, but then he was a vessel. We didn't really know where he was going or he was going. And I really enjoyed the game. Both of them. It's just that for me, like how Ryan was saying earlier about certain games and like Octopath and certain that you can't relate to it. like for me, I'm more. I love heavy gameplay, but I'm more story and character driven than I am just gameplay or battle system. And the world of Xenoblade, it's really nothing else like it. Like the world made me like the game of Xenoblade more than the last story, but in a whole, I like the last story more, if that makes sense. And the game for Xenoblade, they are like, to me, how do I put it? They're the Nintendo versions of Xenogears. And and they're PG. And when I'm playing it, I'm a 39-year-old man. So when I'm playing these games, I mean, I don't mind playing the perspective of a teenager, but give me a teenager who's going to do real things. Like a lot of the things that they were doing, like I said, with Rex and Shulk, they were just kind of like the relationship marks that they missed. And it isn't all about romance. It is a lot about the marks that they were like, they were just like, it just something didn't feel right. Like they didn't feel like, even what's his name? I think what was it? What was his name? Zanza's henchman. What was his name? Dixon. Dixon called him out. Dixon said, he goes, okay, I can take the glasses off. They're getting foggy. He said, so now that Fiora's back, what are you gonna do? And once Fiora came back, the whole story changed. You were like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? The game was still good. I liked it to see the things with the Mechonis and stuff. The gameplay was good, but the characters were kind of like there, and the story is very hard to follow along. Like for me, I'm not a dummy. I don't mean it. It's so complicated. I mean, it's so much to it that you have to stop. It's on a Kingdom Hearts level where you have to stop, and we have a tendency for writing things and stuff. You can overwrite or overcomplicate things, and I feel that a lot of times with both games that they've overcomplicated, and sometimes the simpler is the best. Like we go from one thing, and I almost said that word, and my dude is a god. We go from here, and I know that's RPGs. I'm used to being that guy and fighting a god, but on both occasions, they're playing with gods and world things, and then you're like, well, shit. Well, where did you come from? You know, gray-skinned guy that lives somewhere, and why didn't you take it? It just for me is a lot of things that just it missed, and I was kind of like it was goofy when it didn't need to be goofy, or it was certain areas of the game that I was like, does that need to be done? Does that matter? Like I like Xenoblade Chronicles X because the game had certain parts to it where it's goofy, but you can feel I don't know if you guys understand what I mean. The tone of the game was set even by the palette of the colors.
That's true.
It was the world, you felt it. When you talk to Elma lets you know this is the motherfucking end of the world, bro.
Yeah.
We just crash landed. Get your shit and let's go. It's monsters outside. When you meet Rex, Rex is goofing around. Rex had no reason to go on his journey.
Fair enough.
Rex didn't have no reason. And then, and that's what I was feeling like. Even when the battles, I was like, it was kind of popcorn bubblegum to me when it comes to certain things. And I was like, okay, I didn't feel like, okay, when, even though it was predictable on Xenogears, when Faye basically destroyed his whole town, you felt the emotion in Dan. You seen how he was crying, how he was pissed off. He even came back later. You had to fight him or not fight him, and you actually get something from him if you don't. It's a tip for y'all. Ellie, you felt the different. You felt the adult emotion from it, and I understand that this is Nintendo, and even though they do make mature games now, they're making it for an audience that's like 12 or 13 up. And again, I like the games. It's just that for me, I can't fully resonate with them because of the fact, like, when I look at it, I'm looking, well, what character would I see myself in that role? What character would I be role playing? Will it be Shulk? No, Shulk is oblivious too. Shulk is when I was 18, I knew what was going on, and he was a smart dude. So he just was, I got the naivety and stuff, and I give Shulk more of a pass than I give Rex. As far as the character wise, I think Chronicles has better characters than Chronicles 2. Don't get me wrong. I love me some blades. Hell
and
yes, all of
Pandora.
my blades are ladies. Pandora,
Pandora.
Pyra.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Mithra fan, honestly. And
I don't know.
I'm not even really a big Pyra fan, to be very honest with you. I'm more of a Nia because Nia has story.
water.
Nia,
And water.
and she's water. And
She has story and character.
She has
I
reasons
would
to
actually.
Pyra's kind of, she's not whole, so that's why she's the way she is. She's kind of like most of the time. What's Pyra doing? Holding her titties, kind of sitting there. She's in battle. Oh, she's a monster. Don't take that girl out of battle. But when you're sitting there on other things, I'm just kind of like, okay, so I'm here now. And I got to this point, and now we're all the way back, and we're into the future, and we're going to these things. And I'm excited to see what this one's going to do. Like I said, I'm complaining or nitpicking. I'm going to play, and I'm going to put like 100-something hours plus in the game. I'm hoping to feel this one looks a little darker in tone. I'm hoping to feel more of that X than the blades. The blades are, and it is, to me, it just feels like they're right there. You know, I don't know if y'all play Tales of Arise, but you know how the difference between Tales of Arise and like Tales of Mysteria or even Tales of Destiny, you know, or Tales of Symphonia. And I like Tales of Symphonia. You know how it's like, if you even look at them from character wise, even look at the way that they talk to each other, it's more mature. That's what I want to see. And I can't make the excuse that, well, you're making it for kids and these games are more, because Final Fantasy VI was mature. These are adults in the game. You know, Parasite Eve, these are adults in the game that you can portray. And kids, we were playing them at that time. But I'm not going to go too much further because I was looking at the time. I can go on for forever. But I'm going to play the game. I like all the games. For me personally, and I always feel like, because I'm on the outside with it, I like Saga more. Xeno Sagas more, and I like Xenogears more because and X because of those feelings that I feel like I can resonate with Faye more, or Bart, or you know, I can resonate more with Elma, or I can resonate even with the protagonist that's just kind of like he's the mute guy, or Shion, or Cosmos. And when they were talking, and that's convoluted too, that's all over the place and crazy. We ain't gonna get into Xenogears Disc 2, but it just felt, I don't know, more in line to what I was looking for. Because when I play both blades at a point in time in the game, I look up and I'm like, well, how did I get to this point and why? And does it matter? Like, you know, where Rex became a god? Shoke became a god? So this next one, if they become a god, I'm gonna say if somebody else becomes a god, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might be 90 hours in and be like, let me just sit it down, because that's their trope. If they, not every character has to be a god.
It's just like not every character needs to be a Super Saiyan either.
No.
Like one more person turns Super Saiyan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Not every Smash Brother characters need to have a sword. I understand it. The best ones are with the sword. But when he did that shit with Milia and how he reacted to Fiora, and it just, even the way she died or supposedly died. Let me ask y'all, who didn't know that she was coming back? Like, really? Y'all didn't know she was coming back? Didn't y'all expect her to die?
Her dying was a story-driven point for me, where it's like, okay, now he has a reason to go.
Yeah,
but that's why you knew she was going to die, right?
What killed it for me? What killed it? I didn't beat Xenoblade Chronicles until recently. What killed it for me was when I was playing Smash and I used Shulk. I did his final Smash, and I'm like, wait, is that Fiora? And it was. I'm like, so she comes back. So that killed it for me. So when I was playing, I'm like, I'm just waiting for her to come back. And I said, oh, so that's supposed to be the moment where we're not supposed to know that's her.
I told you.
Yeah, Smash spoils everything.
I seen her. They gave me some weapons, and then I seen her. You know, they made a slot on the Wii where it was a slot for a 7th character.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, she's gonna be back.
Yeah,
she's gonna be back.
I don't think they did that for the Switch version. I think they
didn't.
They don't do that for you. You don't see that until right when you get her.
Yeah, on the Wii version. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I've been on the. I was in ghetto clap all day. I've been ghetto clapping like 3 or 4 times today. I was on Operation Rainfall to get these games out here, and I sit here. I broke my first Wii playing it. So what I'm saying is, I'm not coming at it as a like I'm with y'all. I'm in the trenches with you. I'm just saying I know I play so many hundreds of these games too that you got to give me something. You got to give me something. Like Octopath, Dragon Quest 11, it was good, but you got to bring something to me. Arise brought something to me.
Yeah,
and
same.
it had its moments where I'm like, you could have did a little bit better with that.
Yeah.
Because that was
the ending.
I
think the second part ending could have been a little bit more. Could have been a little bit more in that game. It was just a lot of this, and it was like, okay, what else is there? And then they kind of throw it at you towards the last little minute. But no, I agree.
The time I'll finish up with this. The time I got on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to the end, the top sky where you're fighting the everything, and then you're going and you're like when they were, from the flashback dudes from the flashback from Torna and everything, and you're going and you're meeting the one half-faced man. I'm like, okay. So I ain't got Mithra, I ain't got Pyra, and the main thing that I didn't care about their merger, because to me it was like, okay, like who was that? My homegirl Nia. She's her favorite one is ironically, her favorite one is Xenoblade Chronicles X out of the 3, and she tweeted, and I was like, yeah, I agree. She said, I really don't give a shit about some little kid running around with big titty girls. She said, I just don't give a shit. She said she just started playing. She's like, I don't give a shit about it. Like, and when you break it down, it's 40 something blades and it's only 8 guys. So, I know who we're catering to. I mean, I look at my analytics all the time, and it ain't no lead female characters. We understand, but I just felt that they could have done more with that. Maybe even if Rex was 21, and he actually maybe from the perspective of something different, but the way that they now, because it was parts where like I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, so what, Rex, so what? Like, oh, your dad, he just was there. Like he's not Vaughn, but he's to me, he's like that 1C.
We good?
I was waiting for someone else to say something.
Yeah,
I
was like crazy.
All the time.
No, that's good that you guys definitely put out your hearts out for that final game. Yeah, that's a game that you guys can speak of. I actually got the game, but then I just never. It looked so good, but it was just so massive for me that I was playing all the things, and I ended up not playing. Playing the game, like Xenoblade. Yeah. But I wish I just had time. But right now, I'm hitting a lot of retro things and catching up on a few games. But that is a series I want to get to because this final one, 3, looks phenomenal. It looks so damn amazing. Like, but I don't think I can just jump into that game. Can I just jump into that? No.
Chronoz. Let me say this. Other than Final Fantasy 12, Xenoblade, the first one, has the best quest I've ever seen in a game. Over Skyrim, over all these other games, because you actually do things. And their towns, you actually talk to people.
Oh,
people change. They go by different times.
You don't get that in
the whole town.
It's a sandbox. The world is organic. Like, my problem isn't with the game or the gameplay. My problem is you ain't got your inner circle tight, baby. You fucked. You got to get that in the inner circle. Some loose pieces to me. That's what I was saying.
Well, basically, I shouldn't be jumping.
6.
I shouldn't jump in 3 until I get to 1 and 2.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know what the heck 3 is, so we can't tell you.
No.
So
they work on their own.
So but there's a part 2.
Then they connect at some point.
Yeah, there's a
you
part
can
2.
beat them both
part 2 had
before
nothing
September.
To do with 1.
If you can beat them both before September, do it. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't know how you play RPGs, Chronos, but for me, I streamed Xenoblade the Definitive Edition, and it took me 5 months.
He did because he did everything.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm playing those games privately on the side.
But
well, even on the side, it's a 100-hour game.
Yeah,
it's 100 hour both or 100-hour game.
It is, and that's just including grinding and doing all this other stuff.
So what I'm trying to do is that get through a few games that I'm doing, some of my retro gaming, so that way I can just focus solely only on that series before the other one. But then I hope that no other games catch me in between.
Yeah,
like,
but like we said, here's the thing. Yeah, but like we said, we don't know anything about 3. So all we know is it's just a new entry. Like 2 has nothing to do with 1. Like people ask me, "Oh, do I need to play 2?"
Oh, okay.
No, you don't have to because I played a little bit of 1, but I finished 2, and then as I was going to go back to 1, then we got the announcement of 1 is coming to Switch. So I said, "Oh, cool, I get to play 1." But 1 and 2 have nothing to. They're just. It's like Final Fantasy. There's just 3 games now.
It's
or
like
there's 4.
It's like Final Fantasy, except there's in the 2 that we have. Not to say anything about X because that hasn't. There's no connective scene in that so far that we know. There is a scene that comes along that's like, oh, these are all in the same multiverse.
I hate it. Just it would happen to be the one I like. Damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So
like, if you want to go into 3,
try.
like if you want to play 3 and 3, like what? Who said it? Who said? Geek said it. Geek said Persona 5 is the one that put Persona on the map. What was the other game you said that did it?
The 3 Houses put
3 Houses put Fire Emblem on the map. That made people say, "Oh, well, what about these other games?" Xenoblade. I'm gonna end this right here. Xenoblade 3 might be the game that's for you that says after you play it and finish, you're like, "What are the other 2 like?" And then you might go back and go play the other 2 without skipping a beat.
I still don't think. This is just my opinion. I still don't think 1 or 2 has that appeal yet. It could be 3 that comes out and it's that one that like because RPGs just in general don't do as good as a lot of other games. Those are it's a loyal fan base, but a lot of people don't like to sit down and read for 100 hours or grind for 100 hours. So like 6 is a better game in many aspects. Final Fantasy 6 than 7. But 7 had all of those things: marketing, characters, gameplay, graphics. Same thing with Persona 5. Same thing with Fire Emblem. Like Awakening might be better than or the ones on DS too. Could be better than 3 Houses. But
Awakening.
The timing and all the way and the way that they dropped and it's the graphics. It's on a new system. That's why Xenoblade Chronicles 2 kind of overshadowed the first one a little bit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But a lot of people honestly, a lot of people didn't resonate with that one because of the battle system and because of the blades. Like a lot of people just didn't like the blades. Because
they're a little too fan servicey. The story is a little too Saturday morning anime.
Pokemon,
and I like those things, but like it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah,
same as like I
enjoyed the game too.
I like Final Fantasy 6, but it's not above criticism.
I just told you about my Pandoria, Neo.
All right, so
anyway, yeah.
What's the most? We'll end off. We'll end now, but before we end, you're out of the whole direct today. What is the one game that you want the most? Just say it. What's the game?
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade?
Yeah, I have to have that.
After all,
everyone, Xenoblade?
You know what? Okay. I'm gonna switch this. Of course, Xenoblade is the one I want, obviously. But the game that I'm interested in is playing Alive, because that game looks interesting. Like the different stories or different chapters. Chronoz is Chronoz. I've heard about it. I've talked about it with Geek, but I think Alive is probably the one game that it didn't come left field, but it was a game that had a curiosity in my head that was left back there. But then when it was announced, that curiosity just kind of came back, and it was like, this is what I was hearing about, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually really interested to play you. because you look like something that I would truly enjoy until the other stuff I get come out.
Okay. All right. So that being said, I think we can go on forever. I think I'm getting tired.
Yeah,
I gotta
get this stuff tonight.
Either way, but it was great having you guys on. But it was good going through the direct and so forth. But either way, man, there's so much shit going on the rest of the year, even with that direct alone. But we still hadn't even got to through the E3 and all that stuff. I'm sure they're gonna have it, whether digital or like
no, they're not doing E3 this year. E3 is done.
No, I'm saying like the direct or something like that of their own.
Oh,
yeah, they'll do a direct
they'll
around that time.
They'll put something
that's what I mean. That is like
E3. They're not doing E3 anymore. Like no digital, no person. It's just not happening this year.
Yeah, that's about I feel that there's more bigger things like I think we're gonna get something more Metroid Prime. I think we're gonna get some. I think
you were holding on to that. You're holding on to that Metroid Prime. Hold on to that. I don't think
I think we're gonna get.
You said I don't care, but then you mentioned again, man. We're gonna see Metroid Prime and E3.
I don't see the game coming this year. I see it get the game next year, but I feel like we're gonna get some information. I feel like because you can't just go another. I mean. I would be worried. It's like if we get nothing.
But it's Chronoz. They just went 8 years with just giving us 48 stages. So you can't say that.
Yeah,
it's been. I was there at that E3 25 years ago when we were talking about Prime.
Yeah, like even though if we hear something today, that it don't matter what we hear. Like if they just say here's a gameplay,
I really think it's going to be. I think it's going to be an open world game. I don't know why. I could be wrong. I probably am. But I really feel it's going to be an open world game with first-person shooter aspects in it that you flip. I think that the success of Dread, they're going to incorporate different things. There's probably going to be some Metroidvania parts inside it. Like you're jumping on a ship, it explodes. You have to do first-person and roll.
I want to fly the ship.
And then jump. Yes.
Yeah.
I want to. And please let them give Samus's ship a name.
Right? Because all it has either has the stars. It has two default. It's the starship or like warship. I looked it up. Those are the only two. It doesn't have the actual like.
Well, the thing is,
like it's not like the N7. Something.
There has to be something. It just looks like they're saying so silent right now that it's just like it is driving me crazy. But I feel like give us some an update because the game is probably going to be so massive. So we got so much
to get some kind of update on it.
Yeah, I think we'll hear something, but I'm not expecting anything anytime soon because we all know Nintendo can be like tomorrow we can get something that say, oh hey, Metroid Prime stuff, and we're like, well, you had a direct yesterday. You should have just told us. We don't know. So all we can do is just wait patiently. And just pray that if we do get
is coming up, her 25th is coming up. So don't be
surprised. I thought the 30th for Metroid was last year.
Yeah, but
no, she's 87.
No, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was last year. They didn't do anything.
I'm just that damn old.
They didn't do anything, and then that's
I'm just that damn old.
Like her 25th. No, man, that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like 30th, just that old, yeah.
But I think what I'm gonna close off and say that if we do hear something, we just gotta be patient. And if we do hear something, I think it's just a matter of how much we hear, because then we can speculate, okay, this is coming out here. If we just get like a story trailer, that could mean okay, this game, they're just giving us something so we shut up about it.
They need to do that. They do need to give us something to shut us up for a little while. But anyways, yeah, let's head out. I'm gonna. It was a great direct, one of the best in a while. I think it's better than the last direct. But either way, I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna end out with the trailer. After the trailer, I'm actually gonna bug out too right afterwards. I'll just say goodbye. All
right,
so. I'll see you guys till the next time. There is a podcast Friday with Mr. Right Way on Friday. If you're interested, don't worry if you can't. It's fine. I'll be there if any of you guys can make it. I'll remind you guys tomorrow. For those who are watching, through the whole time, thank you, Black Pokemon Trainer. I was gonna say, I was gonna say black ass Pokemon trainer. It's just like what he used to call himself. All right, I'll see you guys till the next time. Where's my video? Where's my video? Right here somewhere. Oh, here it is.
Master Sword Music.
TJ the Gamer. Yeah, this the Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the Gamerz round, ooh, this the Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the Gamerz round, ooh, this the Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the Gamerz round, ooh, this the Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the Gamerz round, ooh, yeah, this the Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus got one of the best casts that you have ever seen. You really missing out if you haven't heard that this show here to stay. So go pass the word, old school or new school. Check us out on YouTube. It don't matter what you like, we got something for you. Just one more thing to say before I start to close. Shout out to my homies at the Chronoz Show. The Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the Gamerz round, ooh, that's the Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the Gamerz round, ooh, that's the Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the Gamerz round, ooh, that's the Chronoz Show. Games, music, movie, TV, we got what you need. Plus the Gamerz round, ooh,